The story begins deep within the shadowy confines of the Silver Dragon's dungeon, a place where the echoes of despair resonate against the cold, damp stone walls. Flickering torches cast eerie shadows, illuminating the intricate carvings that depict the rich history of the Silver Dragons, a majestic yet feared clan. Suddenly, the heavy doors creak open, and the air shifts as the queen descends gracefully down the winding staircase, her presence commanding and regal. The sound of her footsteps reverberates through the dungeon, announcing her arrival with an undeniable authority. As she approaches, the guards standing at attention snap to a formal salute, their expressions a mix of reverence and apprehension. They have witnessed the queen's wrath before, and know better than to underestimate her mood. The queen, with an air of determination, instructs the guards to leave the chamber, insisting on solitude with the prisoner. Her voice is steady, but there is an undercurrent of tension that suggests she has much to discuss. Queen Rosweis of the Silver Dragons steps closer to the prisoner, her striking silver scales shimmering even in the dim light. The prisoner, bound in chains, looks up at her with a mix of fear and defiance, recognizing the power that radiates from her being. With a piercing gaze, Rosweis inquires about the experience of being a captive of the Dragon Clan, her tone both curious and mocking. "What does it feel like to know that your fate lies in the hands of a dragon?" she questions, her voice echoing off the stone walls. The prisoner, weary from pain and despair, responds with a quiet plea for death, his voice heavy with resignation. "Better to end this suffering than to linger in this wretched state," he murmurs, his eyes filled with torment. Rosweis, however, is not inclined to grant him such a merciful end. She relishes the power she holds over him and is determined to make his suffering last. "A quick death would be too easy for you," she replies, her tone laced with a cruel amusement. As she speaks, Rosweis's sharp eyes catch a glimpse of the prisoner's rugged features, and she notes an unexpected beauty beneath the grime and despair. It intrigues her, stirring a sense of curiosity she hadn't anticipated. The prisoner winces, a sharp pain radiating through his body, a constant reminder of his dire situation. Each scar on his skin tells a story of battles fought and lost, and he feels the weight of his suffering as if it were a heavy cloak. Rosweis, in her moments of cruelty, has left her mark on him, having inflicted several scars across his face, each one a testament to her dominance and the brutal reality of their encounter. "Stop this torment," the prisoner pleads, his voice cracking. "If you intend to kill me, then do it now. Spare me the agony of this cruelty," he begs, desperation leaking into his words. Rosweis, unfazed by his pleas, counters with an insight that stings. "The more powerful you become, the less you concern yourself with trivial matters," she states, her confidence unwavering. "Join my clan, and you will see the world through a different lens." The prisoner, however, remains skeptical of her intentions. "I'm not convinced you are worthy of my allegiance," he shoots back defiantly, his spirit refusing to be completely extinguished. Their eyes lock, a moment of tension hanging in the air as they assess each other. Two powerful beings from opposing worlds, each unwilling to back down. In a sudden burst of frustration, Rosweis lashes out, striking the prisoner with her powerful tail. The impact resonates through the dungeon, leaving him gasping for breath as the force nearly knocks the wind out of him. The blow was devastating, causing the prisoner to teeter on the brink of unconsciousness, his body battered and broken. He struggles to remain alert, knowing that to succumb now would mean defeat. "How dare you treat the Queen of the Silver Dragons with such disdain?" she hisses, her anger palpable. The audacity of his defiance is infuriating, and she vows to teach him a lesson. "Does Leon Cosmode truly believe he is still a hero, revered by thousands?" she mocks, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Perhaps you wish to see the fall of my clan," she accuses, eyes narrowing. Rosweis warns him bluntly to awaken from his delusions, for death is imminent. "You are a loser, and your time is running out," she declares, her tone unforgiving. Leon contemplates the situation, realizing that perhaps there was a chance to emerge victorious, to turn the tide in his favor. But the opportunity slipped through his fingers like sand. Yet even as he thinks of possibilities, he recognizes the harsh truth. This is merely a lost chance, and he is not the victor in this grim tale. "Do not underestimate my kind," Leon manages to assert, his voice steadier now, bolstered by an ember of courage. "We are not to be taken lightly." Without warning, Rosweise constricts his neck with her tail, her grip unyielding. "You are a stubborn man, Leon," she growls, her eyes glinting with both fury and intrigue. Leon's outrage wells up within him, his spirit refusing to be crushed by her overwhelming power. He fights against her hold, a fire igniting within him. "Release me!" he demands, his voice rising, filled with indignation. The audacity of her actions only fuels his determination to resist. He addresses the queen directly, his tone firm yet tinged with respect. "You may be powerful, but I will not bow down to you so easily." Rosweise, taken aback, assumes that Leon seeks to apologize for his earlier behavior, perhaps recognizing her superiority. But she is mistaken. In that moment, Rosweise realizes she has made two critical mistakes. First, she should never have placed herself alone in the company of the most formidable dragon slayer. Second, she should never have tasted Leon's blood, an act that would come to haunt her in ways she could never have imagined. The realization dawns on her, and she feels an unexpected tremor of surprise coursing through her. The taste of his blood lingers on her lips, a forbidden magic that binds them in ways she had not anticipated. Rosweise is left momentarily stunned, grappling with the implications of her actions, as her mind races to comprehend the unfolding consequences. In an instant, Leon seizes the opportunity, loosening her grip with surprising strength and breaking free from her hold. The unexpected turn leaves Rosweise momentarily at a loss. As confusion washes over her, Rosweise's heart races. The heat within her grows, an unfamiliar sensation that makes her question her own emotions. Something is amiss with the queen, and she cannot quite grasp what has shifted within her. The air is thick with tension, and her instincts are on high alert. The weight of her newfound feelings and the implications of their connection begin to weigh heavily on her mind. Rosweise is bewildered, struggling to understand the turmoil that has begun to brew deep within her. Soon, she realizes that her life may now be irrevocably altered, destined to bring her only pain in the days to come. Uncertainty grips her as she contemplates her next move, aware that her choices have far-reaching consequences. In a moment of impulsiveness, Rosweise charges at Leon, her heart racing as she presses her chest against his, an unexpected intimacy sparking between them. Leon stands frozen, bewildered by the sudden shift in their dynamic. The world around them fades as they share this intimate moment. Rosweise seems to pulse with energy, her excitement palpable, yet Leon remains lost in confusion, struggling to comprehend her intentions. She leans in, and in a moment that seems to defy logic, Rosweise kisses him, a collision of emotions that neither of them foresaw. Leon, utterly surprised, feels a whirlwind of sensations as the kiss lingers, shaking him to his core. What is happening? An hour passes in a blur. The two entangled in their newfound connection, the world around them forgotten. Finally, Rosweise stirs, coming back to herself with a gasp, the reality of what has transpired crashing down upon her. "Leon," she breathes, the name slipping from her lips with a mixture of confusion and regret. Rosweise is left grappling with the weight of her actions, unable to comprehend the magnitude of what has just occurred. She realizes now that their fates are intertwined in ways she never anticipated. It was a blood curse, a forgotten magic that binds their souls for eternity. With horror, Rosweise understands that tasting Leon's blood has sealed their connection, and when he dies, her life will be drowned in endless suffering. "This cannot be true," Rosweise mutters, disbelief coursing through her. If the spell activates upon his death, then what does this moment signify for her? Even Leon, caught in the whirlwind of emotions, could not have anticipated the depth of the consequences. He had thought death would bring pain, but not this dark twist. Rosweise, her eyes fierce, commands Leon to silence himself. "Your words mean nothing now," she insists, the tension thick in the air. Yet Leon seizes the moment to point out a curious truth. Dragons are creatures of singular devotion, bound to their chosen mates for eternity. The realization dawns on Rosweise. After Leon's death, she would be unable to seek another partner, to bear offspring, or even to explain her sorrow to her kin. This forgotten magic, more potent than either had grasped, could unravel the very fabric of her existence as a queen and a dragon. Rosweise reflects on her earlier words, acknowledging the irony in declaring Leon a loser. In truth, His actions could potentially lead to the downfall of the dragon lineage. "You are a bastard, Leon!" she spits, her anger mingling with newfound respect. The situation has spiraled beyond her control. Now, with the knowledge that Leon will meet his end soon enough, she finds no reason to hasten his demise. There is a darker fate awaiting him, one that will haunt her. "It is far better," she muses, "to live with the agony of knowing he will die soon. A curse that binds them both in a twisted fate." Roswitha contemplates the implications, her mind racing as she grapples with the reality of their connection. "You are just an ordinary man, Leon," she remarks, a hint of frustration in her voice. "Do not seek revenge on me in such a cowardly manner." In the Queen's mind, it is reckless to provoke such emotions and relationships, yet she finds herself entangled in something far beyond her control. Ultimately, the weight of their shared fate becomes too much for Leon to bear, and he loses consciousness, leaving Roswitha to ponder the consequences of their fateful encounter. Leon Cosmodai was renowned as the strongest dragon slayer in the realm, a title that was not given lightly. His reputation spread far and wide, and tales of his courage and skill became legendary among both common folk and nobility alike. Remarkably, when he was just 5 years old, Leon demonstrated extraordinary strength and bravery by killing a rabid dog with nothing but his bare hands. This act of valor caught the attention of a seasoned professional dragon slayer, who recognized the boy's potential and took him under his wing, providing him with guidance and training that would shape his future. By the time Leon reached the age of 10, he had already entered the prestigious Imperial Dragon Slayer Academy. His dedication and talent shone through as he excelled in every aspect of training. 4 years later, he graduated as the youngest student ever, achieving the best results in the Academy's history, a feat that left both his peers and instructors in awe. At the tender age of 15, Leon made his first foray onto the battlefield, facing dragons in combat. With remarkable skill, he decimated a swarm of enemies, earning accolades and respect from his comrades. During this campaign, Leon played a pivotal role in reclaiming several provinces for the Empire, which had been lost to the dragon menace, solidifying his status as a hero and a savior. Throughout the Empire, Leon was celebrated as not only the strongest dragon slayer, but also the embodiment of hope for the people. His exploits inspired countless individuals, and many looked to him as a beacon of light in dark times, believing that as long as he was fighting, there was a chance for victory. However, this tale of triumph took a dark turn when Leon was captured, leading to a harrowing 2 years spent in captivity, far away from the battles he once fought with such valor. One fateful day, Leon woke up screaming, jolted from a nightmare that felt all too real. Shaking with the remnants of fear and confusion, he found himself thrown into a feverish state, disoriented and unsure of his surroundings, as memories of his past life blurred in his mind. As he struggled to comprehend his situation, Leon looked around and realized he was in a spacious room, lying in a large, comfortable bed, a stark contrast to the harsh conditions of his captivity. Suddenly, the door to the room swung open, and light flooded in, illuminating the space and revealing a figure standing in the doorway. Leon's eyes widened as he saw a girl standing there, her expression a mix of curiosity and surprise at the sight of him. The little girl, seemingly innocent and pure, gazed at Leon, her eyes wide with wonder and intrigue, as if she had never seen anyone like him before. Overcome by the sweetness of the girl, Leon felt an unexpected warmth in his heart, a feeling he hadn't experienced in ages. In that moment, it dawned on Leon that perhaps he had transcended to a better place, a kind of heaven for all his great deeds and sacrifices. He began to believe that the girl must be an angel, sent to greet him and welcome him into this new realm, though she seemed unaware of the term or its meaning. Gathering his thoughts, Leon mustered the courage to ask the girl what her name was, desperate to learn more about this enchanting being. "Muan," the girl replied softly, her voice like music, filling the air with a sense of tranquility. Leon found the name to be beautiful and fitting, but he couldn't help but wonder why an angel would have such an unusual name. Muen's mother had told her that her name means the moon, a name that evoked imagery of light and beauty in the night sky. In turn, Leon introduced himself, only to discover that Moon already knew of him, having heard tales of his heroism. To her, Leon meant lion, a name that carried strength and power. This revelation intrigued Leon, as he realized that Muin had been informed about him by her mother, connecting them in ways he could not yet comprehend. The thought struck him like a lightning bolt. If Muin's mother was indeed Rosweiss, then it meant a startling truth was about to unfold. Stunned and bewildered, Leon pressed for the name of the girl's mother, his heart racing at the implications. "Rosweisse," the girl said, and the name sent shockwaves through Leon, leaving him momentarily speechless. The realization hit him hard. If Muin's mother was Rosweisse, then Leon was, in fact, the girl's father. Dazed by this newfound information, Leon grappled with the reality of fatherhood, unsure of how to process what he had just learned. He was caught in a whirlwind of emotions, unable to believe the truth that had been laid bare before him. As he attempted to gather his thoughts, something else caught Leon's attention, pulling him from his reverie. To his astonishment, Rosweisse herself entered the room, her presence commanding and ethereal. Muin, brimming with excitement, dashed over to Rosweiss to share the joyful news that her father had awakened from his slumber. Rosweiss's face lit up with joy at the sight of Leon, relief washing over her as she approached him. Muin proudly informed her father that Rosweisse had visited him every single day while he was unconscious, a testament to her devotion and care. Leon struggled to accept this truth, still in disbelief that such dedication could be real, wondering why he had been so oblivious. With uncertainty in his heart, he once again questioned Rosweiss about Muin, grappling with the notion that the girl was indeed his daughter. It became increasingly clear that Muin was not only Leon's biological daughter, but also a piece of his past he had never known. In an unexpected gesture, Rosweisse revealed her tale to Leon, an intimate and shocking display of her dragon heritage. Leon's indignation flared as he demanded to know why Rosweiss had given birth to Muin and what her intentions were in saving him. He had been trapped in a dreamlike state for 2 long years, and it seemed Rosweisse had no intention of letting him go from this reality. Yet, Leon couldn't shake the feeling that Rosweiss had acted without considering his feelings, and their differences were insurmountable. The divide between them felt like a torturous reality, not just for Leon, but for Rosweisse as well, both constrained by circumstances beyond their control. In a surprising move, Rosweisse grabbed Leon's leg with her tail, pulling him closer as he stumbled backward. Leon fell to the ground, bewildered and unsure of Rosweiss's intentions, caught in a web of confusion. As he lay there, the uncertainty of what Rosweiss planned to do next left him feeling vulnerable and exposed. Without warning, Rosweisse began to rip at Leon's clothing, a gesture that left him alarmed and questioning her motives. She intended to leave her dragon mark on him, a claim of ownership that Leon desperately pleaded her to reconsider. To Leon, this mark would signify disgrace, branding him as a prisoner and ensuring that his heroic status would be lost forever. He feared that once the mark was visible, people would no longer regard him as the hero he had once been, but rather as a fallen figure. The depths of his confusion led him to wonder why Rosweiss would go to such lengths, questioning her true intentions. Leon struggled to fully grasp what Rosweisse sought to achieve, caught between disbelief and a desperate need for understanding. It became apparent that Rosweisse desired Leon to live a life burdened by shame, a fate that felt both cruel and unjust. As the weight of the situation settled over him, Leon experienced a strange mix of emotions: honor, confusion, and trepidation. The reality of being marked by Rosweiss, the queen of the Silver Dragons, as her slave and partner was a profound twist in the tale of the greatest dragon slayer. The story unfolds in the majestic and ancient castle of the Silver Dragon, a place steeped in mystery and grandeur, where the echoes of history resonate within its stone walls. In the lush and vibrant gardens surrounding the castle, a group of servants is walking leisurely, engaging in hushed discussions about the queen and a recent, rather alarming incident involving her husband, Leon, who had unexpectedly awakened from a long slumber. Unbeknownst to them, Leon overheard their conversation from a hidden spot, his heart heavy with silent condemnation for the queen, whose actions had led to so much turmoil in their lives. Throughout the long day and into the night, Rosweisse, the Dragon Queen, had relentlessly drained Leon's strength, extracting every ounce of energy from him, leaving him feeling utterly exhausted, as if his bones were on the verge of breaking under the immense pressure. Despite the overwhelming fatigue and the pressure mounting around him, Leon resolutely decided that he would not succumb to the queen's demands, no matter the cost. At last, Leon found himself standing at the imposing gates to the kingdom, a place that once felt familiar but now seemed like a prison, filled with memories that were both cherished and painful. As he gazed ahead, he noticed 4 vigilant guards stationed at the gate, their presence a stark reminder of the barriers that stood between him and freedom. Leon realized that escaping through the gates was an impossibility, given the tight security. He could not help but question why there were so many guards patrolling the castle grounds. The atmosphere had shifted dramatically in the 2 years he had been away, and the castle felt more like a fortress than a home. Suddenly, something caught Leon's eye. He noticed a small hole in the wall, a seemingly insignificant detail that could hold the key to his escape. Curious, he approached the hole, his heart racing, and as he peered through, he could hardly believe what he saw. An opportunity to flee from this place of confinement. Initially, doubt crept into Leon's mind, leading him to suspect that it could merely be a trap set by the Queen to ensnare him further in her web of control. However, the urgency to escape surged within him, and he knew that he had to take the risk. Even if it was a trap, staying would be far worse than facing the unknown. With a heavy heart, Leon bid farewell to the Dragon Queen and little Muen, knowing that this might be his last chance for freedom. Just then, little Muen, with her innocent eyes shining brightly, spotted her father Leon from the balcony and excitedly pointed him out to the Queen, her voice filled with youthful enthusiasm. The girl pointed at Leon with her tiny finger, her excitement palpable as she recognized him, her father, standing there in the distance. The Queen, noticing the child's gesture, assured her that everything was under control, attempting to maintain her composure in front of the little one. Muen, ever so curious and a bit rude, asked her mother when she would go to join him, her honesty cutting through the air like a knife. Rosweisa gently reprimanded the girl, urging her not to speak so rudely about her father, trying to instill some decorum in the young child's expression. The girl, puzzled, asked how she should express her feelings toward her father, her innocence shining through her words. The Queen reminded her that Leon needed to be captured and brought back, emphasizing the necessity of keeping him close. As time passed, Leon had already put a considerable distance between himself and the kingdom, his heart racing with the thrill of impending freedom, as he could almost see the borders of his empire beyond the distant mountains. He felt a sense of exhilaration. He had managed to escape the clutches of the Queen, and he hoped that it would be enough to keep him safe from her grasp. However, the fleeting sense of safety was short-lived, as he quickly realized he may have underestimated the Queen's determination. Just as he was about to rejoice in his newfound freedom, a familiar voice echoed through the air, calling his name with an intensity that sent chills down his spine. Rosweis! In an instant, Rosweisa found Leon, her keen senses honed to track him down, and she remarked on his impressive speed, calling him a good runner, as if it were a game. Leon's heart raced with fear, realizing that he was not as far from her as he had believed, and the thrill of the chase turned into dread. He suspected that the Queen found amusement in this game of cat and mouse, and he felt a mix of frustration and terror at being pursued so easily. Rosweisa, with a knowing smile, informed him that it was not as simple as it seemed, and that she had intentionally left the hole in the wall for his escape, a calculated move on her part. Leon felt the weight of the situation. He had taken a risk, but now he was caught, and he hadn't anticipated being captured so effortlessly. She revealed to him that upon his return to human territory, he would not be welcomed there due to the dragon mark that now marred his skin, a symbol of his connection to her. Leon had dreams of starting anew, of living a normal life as an ordinary person, far removed from the complications of his past. This prospect seemed infinitely better than remaining a prisoner under the Queen's thumb. Confusion clouded Leon's mind as he struggled to comprehend the so-called service that Rosweisa believed she had rendered him, feeling betrayed and misunderstood. In a surprising display of strength, Rosweisa seized Leon with her powerful tail, dragging him away to an unknown destination, leaving him bewildered and desperate. Leon pleaded with her to release him, his voice laced with urgency as he inquired where she was taking him, feeling the pull of hope that perhaps she would allow him to return. To his astonishment, Rosweis declared that since he longed to go back, she would assist him, though her intentions remained shrouded in mystery. 3 grueling hours passed as they soared through the skies, finally approaching the border city of the Empire, a sight that filled Leon with a bittersweet sense of nostalgia. With a swift motion, Rosweis released Leon from a great height, allowing him to plummet toward the ground. a mix of fear and exhilaration coursing through him as he realized he was almost home. As he descended, he collided with several trees, the impact jarring his body and sending pain shooting through him. But his determination to return kept him focused. When Leon finally landed on the ground, he was met with a wave of severe pain that coursed through his body, leaving him momentarily dazed and disoriented. It seemed that he might have sustained a concussion from the fall, but he pushed through the discomfort, his desire to be back in familiar territory overwhelming any physical pain. Suddenly, something caught his eye amidst the chaos, the sight of a bustling human city, alive with the energy of its inhabitants. A surge of joy washed over Leon as he realized that he had nearly returned to his homeland, the place where his heart truly belonged. However, before he could take a step further, the queen appeared before him, her presence both commanding and enchanting, an embodiment of the power she wielded. With a curious expression, she asked him if he felt as if he had returned to his native lands, her tone laced with a hint of mockery. Yet, despite the proximity to his homeland, Leon knew that he could never truly return there, as the weight of his situation hung heavily on his shoulders. In a shocking moment, Leon's dragon mark suddenly lit up, glowing with an intensity that startled him and sent a wave of panic through his veins. Rosweiss realized she had forgotten to inform him that if the mark reacted in such a way, it indicated that one of the mark's owners was in distress. Now Leon felt an overwhelming heat spreading throughout his body, a sensation that felt both foreign and terrifying, leaving him feeling utterly helpless. With a cruel twist of fate, Rosweiss had purposely brought him to this location, ensuring that he would experience the humiliation and pain right in front of his hometown. Yet, despite the shame washing over him, Leon resolved that he would not let this moment define him. He would maintain his honor and dignity. He planned to bide his time, waiting for the right moment to repay this disgrace to the queen, determined to make her pay for the humiliation he had suffered. Rosweiss, taken aback by his resolve, regarded him with a mixture of surprise and intrigue, her interest piqued by his determination. To his astonishment, she agreed with him, acknowledging the complexity of their relationship and the challenges they both faced. Rosweiss expressed her anticipation for the moment when Leon would have the opportunity to repay her in kind, a glimmer of excitement in her eyes as she entertained the thought. As they stood there, the tension between them crackled in the air, a promise of conflict and resolution yet to come, as their destinies intertwined in ways neither of them could fully. The action unfolds and continues to progress in the immediate vicinity of the grand and majestic imperial city, which is known for its towering spires and bustling streets filled with merchants and citizens going about their daily lives. After experiencing a moment of intimacy, Rosweiss feels a renewed sense of well-being and satisfaction, basking in the afterglow of their connection. However, Leon, on the other hand, is not feeling his best and is grappling with a sense of unease that lingers within him. Rosweiss finds immense joy and pleasure in everything that has transpired between them, reveling in the warmth of their bond. In stark contrast, Leon feels as if he has been utterly defeated and is left with a sense of being emotionally drained and overwhelmed. In a bid to strengthen their connection further, Rosweiss proposes that they make a visit to this enchanting place every month, suggesting it could become a cherished tradition for both of them. Leon observes that the queen appears to be completely consumed by her desires, as she seems intent on drawing every ounce of life and energy from him. In that moment, he realizes that his initial instincts were indeed correct. Rosweiss firmly instructs Leon to return home, emphasizing that their daughter is eagerly waiting for their arrival and that they need to prioritize their family. In a moment of vulnerability, Leon pleads with Rosweiss to stop her relentless pursuit, seeking a moment of respite from the overwhelming situation. As a seasoned dragon slayer, Leon is determined not to be dragged along against his will. He asserts his independence and chooses to walk on his own, refusing to be carried or assisted any longer. Although the journey to the castle would take a mere 3 hours by air, Leon realizes that walking at a human pace would extend the travel time to an exhausting and arduous month-long trek. Rosweiss comes to the sobering realization that Leon will likely be unable to complete the journey on foot alone, prompting her to consider just how long he might be able to endure the strenuous walk. Some time has passed since their conversation, and the journey has taken its toll on Leon. Leon, having walked for an extended period, begins to feel extremely fatigued, his legs heavy and weary from the continuous movement. Rosweiss, seeing his exhaustion, offers to assist him once more. However, Leon stubbornly pretends that he isn't tired at all and declines her offer, determined to prove his strength. Rosweiss, frustrated by his stubbornness, believes that Leon is only skilled at delivering impressive phrases and grand declarations rather than genuinely expressing his needs. Suddenly, something catches their attention, drawing their focus away from their current predicament. They unexpectedly come across a squad of dragon slayers, a sight that piques Leon's interest and raises a sense of urgency within him. In an instant, Leon realizes that these dragon slayers could potentially provide him with the opportunity to escape from Rosweiss's grasp. As the squad approaches, Rosweiss's demeanor shifts dramatically. Her expression turns to one of fury, and she becomes visibly agitated. Leon quickly comprehends that if he were to call for help from the dragon slayers, Rosweiss would likely retaliate with devastating consequences, eliminating them without hesitation. The leader of the squad, noticing the Dragon Queen accompanying Leon, immediately commands everyone to halt their movements. The commander of the detachment approaches them and inquires whether Leon and Rosweiss have lost their way in the forest. Leon responds calmly, assuring the commander that they were simply taking a stroll in the area, attempting to downplay the tension of the situation. The commander warns them that this particular forest is not the safest place for a leisurely walk, as it is home to many hostile creatures, and he offers to accompany them for their protection. The stranger introduces himself, revealing that his name is Volker, and he serves as the captain of the 47th Dragon Fighter Squadron within the Imperial Army. Leon insists that everything is perfectly fine and assures the captain that they are capable of defending themselves, requesting that the captain maintain a respectful distance from him. The captain observes Leon closely, noting that he bears a striking resemblance to someone he knows, which raises his curiosity. Rosweiss tenses up, sensing the potential threat in the captain's recognition of Leon. This realization fills her with unease. The situation could quickly escalate if they are not careful. Just as Rosweiss prepares to launch an attack on the squad, Leon instinctively grabs her arm, effectively stopping her from making any hasty decisions. Taking control of the situation, Leon reassures the captain that he must have mistaken him for someone else, hoping to diffuse any mounting tension. Leon possesses a rather ambiguous appearance, one that even his own wife occasionally confuses with someone else, leading him to whisper to Rosweiss, urging her to allow them to leave peacefully so that they can return home together. To an outside observer, Rosweiss and Leon present themselves as the ideal married couple, exuding an air of harmony and affection. The captain, deciding that it would be best not to intrude further on the couple's moment, chooses to let them be and continues on his way. The group of dragon slayers resumes their journey, leaving Rosweiss and Leon alone once more. Despite the departure of the dragon slayers, Rosweiss remains visibly discontented with the unfolding events, feeling frustrated by the interactions they just had. She immediately distances herself from Leon's embrace, clearly upset by the situation and wanting to assert her own feelings. Leon is not foolish enough to seek assistance from the dragon slayers, knowing that it could lead to even more trouble. However, he is acutely aware of his precarious position. The existence of their daughter does not necessarily grant him the right to refer to Rosweiss as his wife. Rosweiss informs Leon, who appears to be weary and worn out, that it is time for them to head home. Leon, recognizing the wisdom in her words, agrees without any objections. Suddenly, he notices a troubling trace of blood on his hand, and an unsettling realization washes over him. Something is definitely amiss. Before he can fully comprehend the situation, Leon loses consciousness and collapses to the ground, leaving Rosweiss alarmed. It seems that Leon has fainted, a troubling turn of events that leaves Rosweiss concerned. Rosweiss mentally questions the weakness of those around her, musing on the fragility of their state. Without hesitation, she takes hold of Leon by his clothes, determined to assist him despite the circumstances. In a swift motion, the queen throws Leon onto her back, exhibiting her strength and resolve. Leon remains unconscious, his state leaving Rosweiss with a sense of urgency as she contemplates their next steps. Rosweiss interprets Leon's unconsciousness as a cry for help, and she is prepared to act swiftly to ensure his safety and well-being. The following day arrives with a gentle dawn, the sun slowly rising to cast its golden light across the landscape, signaling the start of a new day filled with potential and promise. Leon awakens in his comfortable bed, nestled under a warm blanket. Yet he looks somewhat weary, the remnants of a restless night evident in the slight bags beneath his eyes and the way he stretches his limbs to shake off the lingering fatigue. As he blinks away the sleep, Moon, his beloved daughter, notices that her father has finally stirred from his slumber. Her heart swells with joy at the sight of him waking up, and she can't help but smile brightly, radiating happiness as she approaches him with youthful exuberance. Leon, still trying to fully grasp his surroundings, turns to Muin and inquires, with a hint of confusion, about how he ended up in this familiar yet cozy space. Muin eagerly explains that it was Rosweisa, her mother, who had kindly brought him home after what must have been an eventful day. A sudden realization washes over Leon as he processes Muin's words. Rosweisa has once again caught him in her web, playfully ensnaring him as her prey, a dynamic that brings both amusement and exasperation to his mind. As he takes stock of his condition, Leon notices that his hand is carefully bandaged, a clear indication that something significant had occurred, and he feels a mix of gratitude and curiosity about how it all came to be. Muin, with an air of pride and accomplishment, joyfully announces that she was the one who expertly bandaged Leon's wound, her face beaming with happiness at having been able to help her father in a time of need. Despite the scientific community's long-held beliefs that dragons are a fierce and bloodthirsty race, driven by an insatiable lust for power and dominance from an early age, Muin stands as a testament to a different truth. She possesses distinct dragon features, yet her nature is devoid of hostility and aggression. In fact, Muin treats Leon with all the affection and warmth of a loving daughter, almost as if he were a father figure to her, embodying the nurturing spirit of humanity that blends so beautifully with her draconic heritage. This unique combination likely stems from her being a cross between a human and a dragon, giving her a remarkable perspective on life. Leon, feeling touched by Muin's kind nature and her willingness to assist him, praises her warmly for her help, recognizing the immense value of her care and love. As he gazes at her, Leon thinks to himself that Muin is incredibly adorable, and he expresses a sincere hope that she won't adopt the more aggressive or harsh traits of her mother as she grows older, wishing to preserve her sweet innocence. Meanwhile, Rosweis, who has been quietly observing this touching exchange, overhears Leon's words and is left contemplative and puzzled, wondering what could possibly be wrong with Muin becoming more like her mother in the future. Caught off guard by Rosweis's sudden presence, Leon finds himself at a loss for words, unable to formulate a proper response to her unspoken inquiry about his thoughts on her parenting style. In a moment of innocent pride, Muin boasts to her mother about her success in bandaging her father's hand, a small yet significant achievement that reflects her growing desire to take care of those she loves. Rosweisa responds affirmatively, stating that this is indeed what she should be doing as a daughter, reinforcing the expectations placed upon Muin and their family dynamic. Leon, however, can't help but think that Rosweisa is perhaps a bit too strict and rigid in her approach to motherhood, which he believes might not be the best way to raise a child who is still so young and impressionable. To lighten the mood and shift the focus away from the tension, Leon proposes to Muin that they engage in a lively game of hide-and-seek in the garden, excitedly announcing to her that he is about to start counting and will soon begin his search. Muin's face lights up with joy and excitement at the prospect of playing hide-and-seek with her father, her laughter ringing through the air like music, filling the space with warmth and happiness. Leon encourages her to start the game right away, eager to create joyful memories with his daughter that they can look back on fondly. As soon as Leon begins counting, Muin dashes off in search of the perfect hiding spot, her laughter echoing as she scurries away, filled with the pure delight of the game. In the blink of an eye, within just 3 seconds, Muin has successfully concealed herself, disappearing from Leon's sight as she giggles softly, the anticipation of being found adding to the thrill of the game. With Muin hidden away, Leon turns his attention back to Rosweis, eager to engage in conversation with her and perhaps understand her perspective a little better. He questions her, wondering aloud if she might be too strict in her parenting style, contemplating whether there could be a more gentle and nurturing approach to raising their daughter. Rosweisa, with an air of authority, counters that all dragons endure a similar upbringing, asserting firmly that only through strict discipline and unwavering guidance can a worthy warrior be forged for the challenges that lie ahead. However, Leon challenges this notion, arguing that Muen is not a pure-blooded dragon and therefore deserves a more compassionate and understanding upbringing, one that recognizes her sweet and gentle nature rather than suppressing it. In an attempt to soften the tension and bring a sense of playfulness back into the conversation, Leon comments that Rosweise herself is quite sweet at her core, hoping to lighten the mood and perhaps find common ground. Yet Rosweise feels a pang of hurt at these words, the emotional weight of his statement sinking in, leaving her momentarily speechless. In a playful yet assertive gesture, Rosweise grabs onto Leon's clothes, asserting her presence and authority in a teasing but firm manner, making it clear that she is not to be underestimated. Leon chuckles at the situation, realizing that to Rosweise, he is merely a source of entertainment, her slave for her amusement, and she playfully warns him not to annoy her, creating a lighthearted banter between them. Surprised yet amused by Rosweise's boldness and playfulness, Leon can't help but smile at the absurdity of their dynamic, appreciating the unique relationship they share. It's fortunate that Leon understands Rosweise's perspective. After all, she is the Dragon Queen, burdened with responsibilities and duties that keep her busy in the government, making it his responsibility to care for Muen and ensure her happiness. Rosweise takes a moment to share with Leon that Muen holds a special fondness for him, a heartfelt statement that warms his heart and reinforces the bond they share as a family. The scene transitions to the garden, where the playful game of hide-and-seek unfolds amidst the vibrant colors of flowers and greenery, creating a picturesque backdrop filled with life and beauty. As he walks through the garden, Leon reflects on Rosweise's words, considering the implications of her statements and the weight of their responsibilities as parents. Suddenly, out of the corner of his eye, he notices a silhouette lingering just behind him, a shadow that piques his curiosity and momentarily distracts him from his thoughts. Muen, in her innocent naivety, seems to underestimate her father's keen senses, truly believing that he wouldn't notice her if she peeked out from her hiding spot, her playful spirit shining through. Leon playfully calls out to her, telling her that he has found her, enjoying the game and the lighthearted moment they share, his voice filled with laughter and joy. Like a child caught in the act, Leon points at Muen with his finger, delighting in the fun of the game and the shared laughter that fills the air. However, Leon's expression shifts as he perceives that Muen is not as happy as one might expect. There is a flicker of disappointment in her eyes that he cannot ignore. Muen's demeanor suggests she is displeased with something, leaving Leon puzzled and concerned about what might have gone wrong in their playful interaction. Realizing the misunderstanding, Leon quickly apologizes for making her wait, hoping to mend the situation and restore the joy of their game. In response, Muen turns away and begins to run off, leaving Leon confused and unsure of what just happened, her sudden change in mood catching him off guard. He struggles to grasp the situation, uncertain of why Muen has suddenly decided to flee, her actions leaving him questioning his approach. The girl disappears from his view with surprising swiftness, her movements quick and agile, a testament to her youthful energy and spirit. Leon reflects on the challenges of understanding a child's mood, realizing just how unpredictable they can be and how easily joy can turn into disappointment. It dawns on him why Rosweise has insisted on him keeping a watchful eye on his daughter. At that moment, Muen is sneaking up on him from behind, ready to surprise him with her playful spirit. Muen swiftly grabs Leon from behind, hugging him tightly with joy and excitement, thrilled that she has managed to find her dad during their game, her laughter echoing around them. Leon, still trying to comprehend the whirlwind of events, is left bewildered by this unexpected turn of play, feeling both confused and delighted by Muen's antics. He had been searching for Muen for quite a while, but it turns out she had taken the initiative to look for him instead, turning the tables on him in a playful twist of fate. As he contemplates this, Leon wonders if perhaps he misjudged the situation earlier, realizing that communication is key in their father-daughter relationship. Muen, filled with excitement and energy, pulls her father along, determined to show him something wonderful she has discovered in their magical garden, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Behind them, there stands another girl, her presence curious and intriguing, leaving Leon to ponder who she might be and what role she plays in this unfolding story. her identity a mystery that beckons exploration. The story starts in the big backyard of a grand palace, which is a very beautiful place. There are trees, flowers, and lots of space to play. The sun is shining brightly, making everything look cheerful and happy. In this lovely backyard, a girl named Muen is singing sweet songs. Her voice is clear and joyful, and it fills the air with happiness. She enjoys singing, and it makes her feel good inside. Leon, her father, is spending time with her in the backyard. He smiles and watches her sing. While this is happening, Muen is also painting a picture with bright colors. She looks very happy and is enjoying her time making art. Leon feels very lucky to be the father of such a sweet and lovely daughter like Muen. He thinks it is a wonderful miracle to have her in his life. She brings so much joy to him, and he loves her very much. Leon believes that one day he will help Muen escape from her mother's grasp. He knows that her mother can be very controlling and protective. He wants Muen to be free and happy, away from any worries. Muen is excited to show her dad the drawing she made. She runs over to him with a big smile on her face, holding her artwork proudly. She wants him to see what she created with her own hands. The drawing shows their family, and Leon looks at it with pride. He praises Muen for her hard work and talent. He tells her how wonderful her drawing is and how much he loves it. Muen beams with happiness at his kind words. However, Leon notices something strange in the picture. There are 2 daughters drawn, but he only has one child, Muen. He asks her why there are 2 girls. Muen tells him that the other girl is her sister, which surprises Leon very much. Leon is shocked and confused. He didn't know that Muen had a sister. He wonders if this is true. His mind races with questions. Did he really miss something so important in his daughter's life? It turns out that not only did he hit the target with his questions, but he also uncovered a second surprise. Muen has a sister. This revelation leaves him stunned. He thinks about the girl he saw in the garden earlier. Could she be Muen's sister? Leon realizes that the girl he mistakenly called by the wrong name was indeed Muen's sister. He feels guilty for not knowing and for possibly making Muen upset with his mistake. He never intended to hurt her feelings. Muen, on the other hand, has a different perspective on the situation. She explains that she is just a little shy about introducing her sister. She hasn't spent much time with her sister yet, so it feels a bit awkward for her. Leon understands that Muen's reaction is quite normal for a child. They haven't seen each other much, so it's not surprising that she feels shy. He thinks that it's a calm and reasonable reaction for a young girl. The issue of Muen's sister is tied to the actions of the Silver Dragon Queen, Losweiser. She has been hiding her second daughter from Leon for reasons that are not clear. Leon knows he needs to find out the truth from her. The scene shifts to the office of Losweiser, where the queen is doing her royal duties. The atmosphere is tense as secrets hang in the air. She is focused on her work, but is also aware of the happenings around her. Suddenly, Losweiser hears strange noises coming from the hallway. She looks up, curious and a bit worried, wondering what could be happening outside her office door. Leon enters the office with a very serious and angry expression on his face. He is determined to confront Losweiser about what he has discovered. His emotions are strong as he steps into her presence. The queen asks Leon where Muen is. Leon replies that Muen went to play with her sister. Losweiser's reaction is unreadable, and she seems to be hiding something important from him. Losweiser is very skilled at keeping the truth hidden. Leon wonders when she planned to finally tell him everything. It feels like she has kept him in the dark for too long. However, Leon has already pieced together the truth. He understands more than she realizes, and he is not going to let her keep secrets from him any longer. Losweiser has done an impressive job of raising 2 beautiful daughters. Leon feels a mix of emotions, including gratitude and frustration, for being kept away from one of his children. When he returns to the Empire, Leon is determined to write both of his daughters' names in their family tree. He wants to acknowledge them and their importance in his life. Leon begins to guess why Losweiser hid the existence of her second daughter from him. He thinks that maybe she was jealous of the bond he shares with Muen. It seems likely that Losweiser's jealousy grew because of Leon's closeness with Muen. To cope with this, she chose to keep Noah hidden from him, which feels unfair to Leon. Leon is truly concerned about this situation. He wonders if Losweiser's actions are driven by jealousy or fear. It makes him feel uneasy. However, He thinks this whole situation is silly. What kind of father wouldn't want to see and love his daughter? Unlike Lossweiser, Leon wants to build a loving relationship with both of his children. Lossweiser warns Leon not to regret his actions in the future. Her tone is serious, and she seems to have her reasons for acting the way she does. The scene shifts to the kitchen, where the cooks are busy preparing meals. The atmosphere is warm and inviting, with delicious smells filling the air. Leon picks up a knife, ready to prepare something special. He feels determined to take action and make a change in his relationship with his daughters. Today, Leon has decided to win the small battle against Lossweiser. This is his first step toward getting closer to Muin and showing her love through food. He remembers how he used to make a creamy soup for his friends, and they always enjoyed it. He hopes that his daughters will love it too. After tasting the soup, Leon smiles because it is very tasty. He feels proud of what he has made and is excited to share it with his family. Leon is confident that Muin will definitely like this soup. He thinks of her smiling face and imagines her enjoying the meal he has prepared. The cooks in the kitchen notice Leon working hard. They admire him and praise him for his efforts. They see him as a real father who cares deeply for his children. In celebration of this family moment, the cooks invite Lossweiser, Muin, and Noah to the dining table. They want everyone to enjoy the meal together. Lossweiser graciously thanks the cooks for the invitation and allows them to serve the meal. She seems to appreciate the efforts made for her family. The whole family arrives in the kitchen just in time for the meal. The atmosphere is filled with excitement and anticipation as they gather around the table. Muin smells the delicious food and asks her dad what is cooking. Leon replies that he made a special steak just for her, wanting to make her feel special. Leon wonders if Noah understands how much he cares about his feelings now. He hopes that she will see his love through his actions and cooking. However, Noah seems indifferent. She doesn't show much interest in Leon, which makes him feel frustrated and angry. He wants to connect with her. Leon is puzzled by Noah's reaction. Why is something wrong again? He feels like he is trying so hard, but it's not working out as he hoped. Lossweiser expected this kind of reaction from Noah, so she purposely kept her away from Leon. She wanted to protect her daughter from any discomfort. This is their first formal meeting as a family, so Lossweiser encourages them to introduce themselves to each other. She hopes it will help ease the tension. Noah confidently introduces herself as Noah Kelkway, the older sister of the great queen of the Silver Dragons, Lossweiser. She tells him that she is 1 year and 2 months old. Leon introduces himself as Leon Cosmodi, and he proudly states that he is Noah's father. This moment is significant for him as it represents his second step toward connecting with his eldest daughter. "Oh, how nice," Noah replies, but her tone is cold, leaving Leon surprised. He wonders if she is upset with him for something he did. Leon is taken aback by Noah's coldness. Did she really take offense at him for not knowing about her? This thought weighs heavily on his mind. Muin, noticing the tension, whispers to Noah to be more talkative and friendly. She wants her sister to feel comfortable with their dad, but Leon looks defeated. Is this really her dad? He feels weak in this moment, struggling to connect with his daughters. Leon feels very hurt by Noah's words. He wanted to be a good father, but now he feels like he has failed. Noah's behavior feels very cruel to Leon. Today marks his first defeat in his journey to becoming a good father, and it stings deeply. Despite his efforts, Leon feels like he has a long way to go in building a loving relationship with his daughters. He knows he must keep trying, no matter how difficult it seems.
Many people believe that having a family dinner is a wonderful chance for everyone to come together, share stories, and talk about their day. However, for Leon, today's dinner feels like a really big challenge that he has to face. It makes him a bit anxious because he knows that family meals can sometimes bring up unexpected conversations. Even though Noah and her brother Muin look very much alike with similar features, they have very different personalities and ways of acting. You can see right away that Noah takes after her mother more than her father. While Muin might be more playful and adventurous, Noah tends to be more serious and focused on her goals. During the dinner, Leon turned to Noah and asked her a simple question. Did she like the dinner they had today, or did she not enjoy it at all? He was curious to know her thoughts, hoping she would say something nice. To Leon's surprise, Noah responded honestly by saying that she thought the dinner was really terrible. Hearing those words made Leon feel very sad and hurt inside. He didn't like to hear his daughter say such negative things about the meal he had prepared. It made him feel like he had let her down. When Rosweiza, who was sitting nearby, heard Noah's reply, she couldn't help but let out a soft laugh. She found something amusing in the situation, perhaps because she understood that kids can sometimes be very honest and blunt. Moon noticed his mother's chuckle and asked her why she seemed so happy at that moment. For Moon, seeing his father happy and enjoying time with them brought him great joy. So when he saw that his father was smiling, it made him feel happy too, and he wanted to share that happiness with everyone. Leon, realizing the bond he had with his family, agreed with Moon's feelings. He said that he truly enjoys spending time with his family, and these moments are precious to him. He feels that family dinners are important for strengthening their connection. Moeen, feeling excited and playful, asked Leon if he could cook dinner for them every single day. He thought it would be fun to have his father cook for them all the time. However, he didn't really want to share a meal with a dragon every day because he thought it might be too strange and different. Noah, not liking the idea of having dinner every day with a dragon, quickly rejected Moeen's request. She had her own plans and goals in mind that were more important to her than daily dinners. The reason for Noah's rejection was her strong desire to go study at St. Hade Academy. She had heard many wonderful things about the school and wanted to be part of that experience. Rosweiza, noticing Noah's eagerness, pointed out that kids usually start attending St. Hade Academy when they are around 4 or 5 years old. She wondered why Noah was so eager to go there now when she was still young. In response to her mother's question, everyone heard Noah express her bold desire to defeat all the dragon slayers. This was surprising to everyone, especially since her father, Leon, was also a dragon slayer. Noah seemed determined and passionate about her goal. It turned out that the child wanted to defeat her own father, which sounded really bad to everyone listening. They were worried about how this would affect their family dynamics and relationships. Leon, concerned for his daughter's safety, replied to Noah by telling her that dragon hunters were very strong and that she was still too young to face them. He warned her that she could get hurt if she tried to fight them. Noah listened to her father's words but asked him not to treat her like a little child, even though she was still quite young. She wanted to be taken seriously and felt ready to take on challenges. Rosweiss thought about what Noah said and agreed that it was a good idea. She believed that the sooner Noah learned essential skills, the sooner she could prepare herself for the battlefield. Rosweiss wanted to help Noah become strong. Rosweiss then turned to Leon and asked for his opinion on the situation. She wanted to know if he had a good reason to stop Noah from pursuing her dreams of becoming a great warrior. Leon realized that if he continued to resist Noah's wishes, she might really start to hate him for not supporting her dreams. Therefore, he needed to be careful and think about how to approach this delicate situation. After thinking it over, Leon finally replied that he had no objections to Noah going to the academy. He understood that she needed support for her ambitions. In that moment, Leon had a realization about the dynamics within his family and how important it was to listen to his children's dreams and desires. He noticed that Rosweiss seemed to want to use Noah's strong feelings as a way to put some pressure on him right during their dinner. It felt like she was trying to manipulate the situation. In his mind, Leon felt a lot of dislike towards Rosweiss for trying to use their daughter in this way. He thought it was unfair and didn't appreciate her tactics. Well, since no one in the family was against Noah attending St. Hade Academy, Leon knew he would have to prepare her for the entrance exams that would take place in a month. It was going to be a busy time for them. After all the discussions, that marked the end of their family dinner. The children were happily playing with each other, and Noah noticed that Moon had a large tummy, which made her giggle. Leon called Rosweiss over to him, wanting to talk to her about something important. He pointed out to her that there were dirty plates left on the table, and they needed to be cleaned up after their meal. Rosweiss, with a casual attitude, told him to let the servants take care of the cleaning. She didn't seem to think it was a big deal. However, in Leon's family, it was customary that after dinner, the couple would clean up after themselves and wash the plates together. This was how they believed a family dinner should end, with teamwork and cooperation. Leon wondered if Rosweiss really did not want to create a warm and loving family atmosphere in front of the children. Even if it was just for fun, he thought it was essential to show that they cared about each other. Noah was very happy about what she saw during dinner. She loved the happy moments shared with her family. After some thought, Rosweiss finally agreed to help Leon with the dishes, wanting to support him in keeping their family traditions alive. Moon was also called upon to help them with the cleaning up. It was a family effort, and everyone was expected to pitch in. But Noah, feeling a bit cheeky, was pulling Moon by his clothes, trying to get him to follow her and help. Moon screamed and asked where his sister was pulling him, feeling a bit confused and playful about the whole situation. It was now time for them to wash the dishes, and they had to get started quickly. Rosweiss asked Leon when he would join her and start helping with the cleaning. She hoped he would not leave her to do it all alone. But had Rosweiss forgotten what Leon had told her 2 years ago? He had made it clear that it was never a good idea to be alone with a very strong dragon slayer. Rosweiss looked confused by this comment. She wondered what Leon was planning and why he was bringing this up now. Leon used to get very tired from walking long distances, which made it easier for her to control him. But now, things had changed, and he seemed more determined. It seemed like Leon really thought he could escape from this situation using this trick, and that surprised Rosweiss. In a sudden move, he hit Rosweiss on the tail with all his strength, catching her off guard. However, Leon didn't genuinely plan to run away. His actions were more of a playful tease than a serious attempt to escape. Rosweiss was outraged by his actions and felt her emotions rising. As Leon held onto her tail tightly, Rosweiss felt a lot of pain. She was surprised by how sensitive her tail was and how much it hurt to be grabbed. At that moment, the queen felt like she was not capable of doing anything at all. She was caught by surprise. The essence of being a dragon made Rosweiss's tail extremely sensitive. When someone grabbed it, she immediately acted like a small kitten, feeling very weak and helpless. Dragons have a nature that drives them to conquer and control everything around them. But Rosweiss wondered if she had ever truly been controlled by anyone before. It was a strange thought that left her feeling vulnerable. Dragons want to take over and control everything. Has she ever been controlled by anyone before? Rosweiss is feeling extremely tired right now, and this fatigue is evident on her face. She's been through a lot of difficult situations recently, and the toll it has taken on her is clear for anyone to see. Her eyes look heavy, and her shoulders seem to carry a weight that suggests she desperately needs a break. A moment of rest is essential for her to regain her energy and composure, as she has been juggling so many responsibilities and challenges. Rosweiss, feeling the discomfort of Leon holding onto her tail, turns to him with a polite expression and kindly asks him to let go. It is clear that she feels a bit uneasy with him holding on tightly and wishes for some personal space. Her tone is gentle, indicating that she does not want to hurt his feelings, but she expresses her need for a little more distance in a calm and respectful manner. Since the day Leon woke up from his long slumber, Rosweiss has been treating him in a way that makes him feel quite small and insignificant. She walks around him with a certain air of superiority, as if he is not important in her eyes, and engages with him in a manner that feels playful, yet demeaning. To her, it might seem like harmless fun, but for Leon, this behavior makes him feel a bit humiliated and belittled, as if he were merely a plaything rather than a person deserving of respect. In a moment of curiosity and perhaps a desire for change, Rosweiss asks Leon if there is a way they could switch roles for the evening. She expresses a genuine wish to experience life from his perspective, wanting to understand how he feels in their current situation. However, Leon, feeling a wave of offense at her suggestion, reacts by calling her a bastard, his frustration bubbling to the surface as he struggles with the implications of her request. At that moment, Leon hears an unexpected sound coming from the hallway, causing him to freeze in place. A rush of anxiety floods over him as he wonders what is happening just outside the room. His heart races, and his mind races with thoughts about the possible scenarios unfolding beyond the door, leaving him feeling tense and apprehensive about what might come next. It turns out that the sound Leon heard is simply the chatter of the servants talking in the hallway. They are engaged in light conversation, curious about whether the special time spent with Her Majesty's family has come to an end. Their voices carry through the air, and Leon listens intently, trying to piece together what this means for him and Rosweiss. When the servants enter the room, they are taken aback by how everything appears to be in perfect order. They look around in surprise, their eyes darting from one corner to another as they begin to wonder who could have made the place so clean and tidy. Their astonishment grows as they take in the neatness of the space, which stands in stark contrast to their expectations. As the servants walk around the room, they express their astonishment at the cleanliness of everything. It seems as if a magic hand has come and organized everything perfectly, leaving no trace of clutter or mess behind. Their remarks are filled with wonder and curiosity, and they marvel at the transformation of the space. Meanwhile, Leon and Rosweiss find themselves hiding in the closet, doing their best to remain very quiet to avoid being discovered by the servants. They exchange nervous glances, fully aware of the need to stay hidden for a while longer, as the tension in the air thickens with each passing moment. Leon leans closer to Rosweiss and whispers, reminding her to stay quiet. He is particularly anxious about the possibility of the maids finding them in their hiding spot. It's quite surprising to see the usually proud and powerful queen acting so cautious and humble in such a situation, and it adds an interesting layer to their dynamic. After a couple of minutes that feel like an eternity, the servants finally leave the room, allowing Leon and Rosweiss to breathe a sigh of relief. They exchange relieved smiles, grateful to be out of immediate danger and able to relax a little now that they are no longer at risk of being discovered. Rosweiss looks at Leon and notices a sense of desperation in his eyes. She realizes that he is feeling overwhelmed by everything that is happening around them. Understanding his emotional state, she feels a pang of empathy and concern, wishing to help him find some peace amid the chaos. In a gentle yet firm manner, Leon takes hold of Rosweiss's neck, not in a harmful way, but with a sense of encouragement. He suggests that they should start fresh, wanting to move forward with whatever plan they have in mind together. It's a moment that signifies his desire for cooperation and a new beginning. They both agree on their views, and a better understanding begins to form between them. As they communicate openly, there is a sense of teamwork developing, and they both feel that they are on the same page, ready to tackle whatever challenges lie ahead together. Rosweiss takes a moment to think deeply about the situation they find themselves in. She considers all the possibilities and options available to them, weighing each one carefully before deciding what they could do next. Her contemplative nature shines through as she strives to find the best course of action. 3 days have now passed since that chaotic moment, and time has flown by in a blur. Although the events of those days still seem fresh in their minds, life has continued, and they find themselves navigating through the aftermath of what transpired. Leon's children start to notice that he has been sleeping for 3 whole days, and their worry begins to grow. They exchange glances filled with concern, wondering if their father is really dead or if he will awaken again. The uncertainty weighs heavily on their little hearts. Suddenly, Noah, one of the children, nudges the sleeping Leon with his foot in an attempt to wake him up. He wants to make sure that their father is all right, and his concern drives him to take action. The gentle nudge is filled with a mix of love and worry as he hopes for a positive response. Leon stirs awake, blinking against the light as he realizes he is not dead after all. Relief washes over him, but he is met with a mix of confusion and curiosity about his surroundings. He feels ready to face Noah, but a thought lingers in his mind about whether it is truly okay for his child to treat him in such a casual way. Slowly opening his eyes, Leon sees a very joyful Moon looking at him with a broad smile on her face. Her happiness is contagious, and it brings a smile to his own face, lifting his spirits. The innocent joy of his child is a welcome sight after the heaviness he has felt. Moon excitedly tells Rosweiss that Leon has finally woken up, her voice filled with delight. Leon, still trying to gather his thoughts, asks Rosweiss when exactly he lost consciousness. His question reflects his confusion about the events that led to his long sleep. Rosweiss, concerned about Leon's memory, asks him if he needs any help remembering everything that happened while he was asleep. Her caring nature shines through as she offers her support, wanting to ensure that he fully understands what has transpired. Suddenly, a rush of memories floods back to Leon. He recalls that after that one fateful night, the dragon pattern on his body vanished, and he was badly beaten. The recollections come back to him in a rush, and he feels the weight of those experiences settle in his mind once more. As he reflects on everything, he thinks to himself that Rosweiss is really quite cruel. If he were just an ordinary person, he muses, he would have surely died long ago because of her fierce nature and strength. The complexity of their relationship begins to dawn on him. However, upon closer inspection, Leon realizes that Rosweiss is actually very beautiful. Despite her fierce demeanor, she doesn't seem like she could possibly be 200 years old. There's something youthful and vibrant about her that captivates him and contrasts with her powerful presence. Leon finds himself frozen in place, lost in thought, and the children look at him with surprise. They can see something is bothering him, and their innocent curiosity prompts them to wonder what is going on inside their father's mind. Feeling a bit awkward in the moment, Rosweiss places her hand on the table, but in her clumsiness, she accidentally drops the bow she was holding. The unexpected action catches her off guard, and she looks surprised at her own lack of coordination. The bow falls to the floor, and Leon quickly bends down to pick it up. He doesn't want it to stay on the ground and be forgotten, valuing the item and its significance in the moment. His quick reflexes show his attentiveness to the situation. Leon then carefully inserts the bow into Rosweiss's hair, ensuring it complements her appearance beautifully. He compliments her, saying that the bow suits her perfectly and makes her look lovely. His sincere words are meant to uplift her spirits and add a touch of warmth to their interaction. Rosweiss is taken aback by Leon's thoughtfulness. She didn't expect him to be so attentive and caring, and it makes her wonder if he has courted other women in the past. The compliment strikes a chord in her, leaving her feeling flattered and curious about his past experiences. Leon nods in response to her unspoken question, confirming that when he was young, he often combed hair and was quite good at it. It was something he enjoyed doing, and his fond memories of those times add a layer of depth to his character. Noah, intrigued and eager to learn, approaches Leon and asks him what the word donkey means. His curiosity is genuine, and he wants to know more about the world around him and the language that shapes it. Leon begins to explain that donkeys look a bit like dragons. He describes their 2 ears and tail, noting how they tend to make a fuss when they are unhappy. His explanation is filled with imagery that captures the children's imagination. At the end of his description, Leon playfully adds that this description actually fits their mother quite well, causing everyone in the room to burst into laughter. The lighthearted moment brings joy and warmth to the atmosphere, showcasing the bond they share. However, This remark seems to hurt Rosweiss, and in a playful manner, she gives Leon a little punch in the stomach to show her disapproval. The gentle hit is filled with both affection and a hint of annoyance, adding a playful tension to their relationship. Leon bends over in feigned pain from the playful hit, and Muen, concerned for her father's well-being, rushes over to help him. Meanwhile, Noya stands aside, observing the whole scene unfold with a mixture of amusement and curiosity. In a sudden turn, Rosweiss instructs Leon to teach the children how to write their names. This is the second task she has given to Noah to help him learn, emphasizing her desire for them to gain knowledge and skills. Muen is thrilled at the idea that their dad will be teaching them, her excitement shining through. However, Noah quickly interjects, stating that he already knows how to write and doesn't need help. His confidence adds a playful dynamic to the conversation. Muen, ever the enthusiastic sibling, suggests that Noah go to the study to find some beautiful colored pens there. She thinks it would make their writing even more fun and enjoyable, showcasing her creativity and enthusiasm for learning. Rosweiss informs Leon that the Queen's sister will be visiting them today. She expresses her concerns, clearly stating that she doesn't want Leon to be present when her sister arrives. Her tone reveals her desire to keep certain aspects of her life separate. Leon is taken aback by this revelation. He wonders why Rosweiss doesn't want to introduce him to her family, feeling a sense of curiosity mixed with concern. The situation leaves him pondering the implications of her request. According to Rosweiss, Leon Cosmodi is now recognized as a male dragon who has married a member of the Silver Dragon clan. He has been in a coma for 2 years due to a mysterious illness and has only just woken up. This revelation adds complexity to his identity and their relationship. If it turns out that Leon is still in contact with Rosweiss's sister, he will need to adjust to the new identity that she has created for him. The weight of this realization sinks in, and he understands the challenges that lie ahead. Leon agrees with Rosweiss, acknowledging her concerns and the need to navigate this complicated situation with care. His agreement reflects his respect for her wishes and a desire to support her in whatever way he can. As Rosweiss leaves the room, Leon begins to wonder if the Queen truly thinks he will simply obey her wishes without question. A spark of rebellion ignites within him as he contemplates his own desires and autonomy. With a sense of determination brewing inside, Leon starts to plan how he will embarrass Rosweiss in front of her sister. The thought of this playful challenge excites him, and he looks forward to the opportunity to assert himself in their dynamic. As Leon formulates his playful plans to embarrass Rosweiss in front of her sister, he can't help but feel a sense of excitement, which he's feeling. The story begins in a charming children's room located in the magnificent Silver Dragon Castle. The room is filled with colorful toys, cozy furniture, and vibrant decorations, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere for children to play and learn. In this delightful room, a kind and patient man named Leon is taking the time to teach 2 eager kids, Noah and Muen, how to write their names. They are full of energy and excitement, ready to learn new things every day. Leon carefully writes the names of the 2 children, Noah and Muen, on several sheets of paper. He wants to inspire them, so he encourages them to try writing their names on their own, believing in their potential to succeed. As they practice, Noah takes a moment to observe Leon's handwriting. She realizes that it is not as beautifully crafted as her mother's elegant writing. This observation makes Leon feel a bit surprised and upset, as he usually takes pride in his handwriting. Feeling a mix of annoyance and embarrassment, Leon stands up from his chair, preparing to leave the room. Muen, curious about his sudden movement, asks him where he is going. Leon replies that he forgot to deliver something important to their mother and needs to do that right away. Before stepping out of the room, Leon reassures the girls that he will be back very soon. He leaves the children alone, trusting them to continue their writing practice while he attends to his task. Noah thinks to herself that Leon is not very clever for forgetting something so important. Moon notices that Noah seems to be somewhat happy, but she doesn't fully understand the reason behind this feeling. In reality, Noah is hiding her true emotions and trying to maintain a brave face despite her inner turmoil. Deep down, Noah feels a wave of sadness wash over her, but she tries to push those feelings away and focus on the writing exercises instead. She wants to impress Leon when he comes back. The scene then shifts, transporting us to the grand gates of the Silver Dragon Castle, which are adorned with beautiful carvings and guarded by majestic dragons. The atmosphere outside is lively and filled with excitement as visitors come and go. A new character enters the story, Isha Melkway, the Queen of the Red Dragons, who has just arrived in the kingdom. She is the sister of Rosweiss, another important figure in this tale, and her arrival brings a sense of anticipation. Rosweiss, upon seeing her sister, greets Aisha with a warm smile and a loving embrace. They share a heartfelt hug, feeling the joy of reuniting after such a long time apart. It has been an entire year since they last saw each other, and during this time, many changes have occurred. Isha notices that Rosweiss looks much healthier and happier than she did before, which surprises Rosweiss, who didn't expect to hear such praise. Aisha excitedly shares that she has heard news about her brother-in-law Leon, mentioning that he has finally woken up from a deep slumber. However, she wonders aloud why he is not present at this moment to greet her. Rosweiss explains to Isha that Leon is not feeling well today, and because of that, he cannot join them for their reunion. Isha feels a twinge of disappointment because she was looking forward to meeting the Dragon King who married her sister. In the world of dragons, partnerships are often formed for reasons like wealth and power, and love is usually not a factor in these arrangements. However, since Rosweiss and Leon got married quickly and have 2 children together, it seems their relationship must be quite strong. Despite their marriage and family, Rosweiss wonders if having a husband and children truly means that they love one another. She feels that she is not really attracted to Leon, both now and likely in the future. Isha starts to realize that Rosweiss hasn't changed much over the past year. Her sister seems to be stuck in her thoughts and emotions, still grappling with her feelings about her marriage. The sisters decide to walk together to the beautiful garden of the castle, where they can enjoy the fresh air and talk more freely about their lives, hopes, and dreams since their last meeting. Unbeknownst to them, someone is secretly watching their conversation from a distance, hidden from view. This mysterious presence adds a sense of tension to the scene. Leon, from a nearby window, is using binoculars to observe his sister and Rosweiss as they walk and talk. He is curious about what they are discussing, wanting to know more about their private conversation. Leon is particularly interested in understanding how far the relationship between Rosweiss and the Dragon Clan can develop, as he feels the need to protect his family and ensure their safety. Isha tells Rosweiss that there has been some unrest within the Dragon Clan lately, especially concerning the Dragon King of the Red Tribe. She explains that this man has been very active and causing quite a stir in the community. Rosweiss is taken aback by this information. She realizes that the troublemaker is indeed someone she knows very well, a dragon named Constantine, who has a reputation for causing chaos. She recalls that Constantine has been missing for a significant amount of time, and now she wonders why he has suddenly reappeared. However, nobody seems to know where he has been or what he has been up to. Rosweiss thinks that Constantine is a hot-tempered individual, and she worries that he might be trying to take advantage of the current situation to expand his territory and power. Suddenly, Rosweiss feels a strange sensation as her dragon mark begins to glow brightly, signaling that something troubling is about to happen. This unexpected event fills her with dread. The glowing mark is a sign of something bad approaching, creating a sense of urgency within Rosweiss. She knows that she must pay attention to this warning. Isha senses that something is off with her sister. She notices the unease on Rosweiss's face, but Rosweiss urges her not to stop talking and to continue their conversation. Rosweiss thinks angrily about the Dragon Slayer, feeling frustrated with the situation and the looming threat that seems to be closing in on them. Isha decides to leave, but before she goes, she emphasizes the importance of strengthening the defenses of the border just in case something goes wrong. She plans to send a trusted messenger named Jin Long to keep in touch with Rosweiss's kingdom for any updates. As Isha prepares to leave, Rosweiss feels the intensity of the dragon mark growing stronger and stronger. She fears that if this continues, it could lead to disastrous consequences for everyone involved. Isha notices once again that Rosweiss does not look well, as her face is flushed and showing signs of distress. She becomes concerned for her sister's well-being. Suddenly, Rosweiss remembers that she has some urgent matters to attend to, and she promises Isha that she will return in 20 minutes to continue their conversation. Isha offers to help Rosweiss with whatever she needs, but Rosweiss politely declines her offer, wanting to handle her responsibilities on her own. Isha quickly realizes that the glowing dragon mark is causing Rosweiss distress, and she knows that young dragons often play with it without fully understanding the consequences of their actions. Meanwhile, Leon is resting in another part of the castle, deep in thought as he contemplates how long Rosweiss will be able to cope with the pressure she is under. In a sudden rush of emotions, Rosweiss storms back into the room to confront Leon about something that has been bothering her. He greets her with curiosity and asks her why she has returned so quickly. Rosweiss suspects that Leon chose this moment on purpose to embarrass her in front of Isha, adding to her frustration and feelings of vulnerability. Leon pretends to be innocent, jokingly asking if it's a bad thing that he trusts Rosweiss with everything. His playful tone only irritates her further. Rosweiss is taken aback by his comment, feeling a mix of surprise and annoyance at his teasing nature. The queen's face turns bright red with embarrassment from the conversation, feeling flustered by Leon's words and their implications. Leon realizes that his plan to provoke her has succeeded, and now he feels a mix of triumph and disgust with himself for playing such games with someone he cares about. Rosweiss angrily calls Leon a shameless man, demanding to know how he can speak to her in such a disrespectful way and questioning his intentions. The queen is on the verge of leaving the room, feeling overwhelmed by the situation. However, she feels a strong desire to confront Leon properly and understand his motives. Despite her anger, Roswitha chooses to forgive Leon for his teasing this time, but she mentally warns herself that she won't be so forgiving next time he crosses the line. Leon understands that just one hurtful word can make Roswitha feel helpless and vulnerable. He realizes that the power of the dragon mark is indeed very strong and influential. Yet he wonders why his heart races with emotions when he thinks about Roswitha, feeling confused and conflicted about his feelings toward her. He tries hard to push these thoughts away and focus on something else, hoping to clear his mind of any distractions. Meanwhile, Muin and Noah are still waiting for Leon in the children's room, feeling anxious and eager for him to return so they can continue their lessons and enjoy their time together. The story begins in a grand and beautiful castle, which is home to the majestic silver dragons. The castle is filled with shining walls, tall towers, and sparkling decorations that reflect the light beautifully. The dragons, with their shiny silver scales, glide gracefully through the air, making the castle a magical place to be. One day, Roswitha's sister approaches her with a bright smile on her face. She tells Roswitha that she is going to her own home today. Her voice is filled with excitement as she thinks about returning to her cozy place where she feels comfortable and happy. Roswitha, caring and protective, looks at her sister and asks her to be very careful on the way back home. She wants to ensure that her sister travels safely, avoiding any dangers or problems that might come her way. Finally, Isha, who is a good friend, turns to Roswitha and asks if she can meet Leon at their next gathering. She is eager to get to know him better. Roswitha thinks this is a wonderful idea and suggests that they talk about it more when they all meet again next time. With a graceful flap of her wings, Isha takes off into the sky, flying away. She looks stunning as she ascends, her wings glimmering in the sunlight, and she feels free as she disappears into the horizon. Meanwhile, the queen's facial expression changes dramatically. She begins to think deeply about Leon, her thoughts filled with mixed emotions. Her heart races as she recalls their past interactions, and she feels both warmth and confusion about her feelings for him. Roswitha, feeling a strong sense of determination, prepares herself to take revenge on the dragon fighter tonight. She gathers her thoughts and plans her actions carefully, knowing that she must be brave and clever in what she intends to do. In another part of the castle, Leon feels a strange sensation in the air. He senses that something significant is happening nearby, and it makes him curious and a bit uneasy. He can't shake off the feeling that it involves him somehow. Leon is taken aback when he realizes that a woman is scolding him. It surprises him greatly because he did not expect to be spoken to in such a manner. He feels a mix of disbelief and confusion as he tries to understand why she is upset with him. Later that night, Leon finds himself reading a delightful fairy tale to the children in the nursery. The room is filled with soft light, and he enjoys sharing the story with them. However, as he looks around, he notices that the children have all fallen asleep, their tiny faces peaceful and serene. Seeing this, he gently stops reading, not wanting to disturb their slumber. Leon then decides to cover the sleeping children with a warm, fluffy blanket. He does this lovingly, making sure they are snug and warm so they don't catch a cold during the chilly night. After taking care of the children, Leon quietly leaves the nursery, being careful not to make any noise. He slowly closes the doors behind him, ensuring he doesn't wake anyone up as he steps into the hallway. Just as he is about to continue on his way, someone suddenly stops his friend. It catches him off guard and he turns to see who it is. To his surprise, it is Roswitha standing there. She looks at him with curiosity and asks where he's going. Leon, feeling a bit anxious, responds by asking if Roswitha's sister has already left the castle. Roswitha informs Leon that they still have important business to take care of together today. She emphasizes that there are matters they need to discuss, making it clear that their meeting is significant. Leon, feeling a bit sad, says goodbye to Roswitha. However, the queen, with a determined look in her eyes, pulls him along, not letting him leave just yet. He feels a mix of emotions about staying. They enter the queen's spacious and elegantly decorated bedroom. It is filled with luxurious furnishings, and the atmosphere feels both regal and comforting. As Leon looks around, he notices a bucket filled with steaming hot water placed in the corner of the room. He furrows his brow in confusion, wondering what the purpose of the bucket is. Curiosity gets the better of him, and he takes the bucket, bringing it to the queen to ask her why she needs it. He tilts his head, genuinely interested in her response. Roswitha, clearly exhausted after a long day of walking and activities, looks at Leon and asks him to wash her feet. She appears tired and in need of some pampering after her busy day. Leon feels a wave of outrage wash over him at her request. He thinks it is too much to ask of him, and his surprise quickly turns to frustration at the thought of doing such a task. Roswitha, standing firm, orders Leon to do as she says. She explains that this is his punishment for a prank he played on her previously. Her tone is serious, leaving no room for argument. Leon feels completely discouraged by the situation. He, a brave dragon slayer known for his strength and courage, finds himself in the humiliating role of a foot-washing servant, which he never expected. He reflects on how this woman truly knows how to have fun at his expense. He wonders how many dragon slayers she has stepped on with those delicate feet of hers. The thought makes him feel even more frustrated. Roswitha suddenly notices that Leon is staring at her leg and raises an eyebrow in curiosity. She can't understand why he is looking at her that way. She starts to wonder if he has some sort of strange and disgusting fetish for feet. The idea makes her feel uncomfortable, and she is unsure how to react. In a bold move, Leon abruptly lowers Roswitha's feet into the hot water. He does it suddenly, catching her by surprise and stirring up the water. Roswitha has exceptionally beautiful legs that glisten in the light. Leon can't help but notice how attractive they are, despite the strange situation. The moment her feet touch the hot water, Roswitha jerks her legs back violently and kicks Leon away. The water is searing hot, and she can't tolerate the pain. Leon finds himself in a lot of pain from the kick. It stings, and he realizes he may have gone too far with his actions. He starts to think that perhaps he was trying to take revenge on the queen purposely. The playful spirit in him emerges, wanting to retaliate against her. A sly grin spreads across Leon's face. After all, the queen herself asked him to wash her feet, and now it seems the tables have turned. The queen turns to Leon, a teasing smile on her face, and says that he has a bad memory. She enjoys reminding him of the playful banter they share. In a surprising move, she steps down on Leon, adding more pressure to him. It catches him completely off guard. Leon never thought he would live to see the day when a dragon would actually step on him like this. He feels a mix of disbelief and discomfort. The weight pressing down on him is incredibly painful, and he struggles to bear it. He cannot believe how humiliating this situation has become. He feels very humiliated and begs the queen to stop stepping on him. His voice carries a tone of desperation as he tries to regain some dignity. The queen wonders just how long Leon can hold out under her weight. She enjoys the challenge of seeing how far he can go. Leon, however, is determined not to give in to the queen's tyranny. He refuses to back down and decides to stand his ground. In a sudden burst of defiance, Leon grabs the queen by her leg. He wants to show her that he will not be easily pushed around. He thinks about how he has eaten the legs of pigs, cows, and goats in the past, but he has never tasted dragon leg before. The thought makes him chuckle, even in this ridiculous situation. Roswitha is absolutely terrified by Leon's boldness. She cannot believe he would actually do such a thing, and her eyes widen in shock. At that very moment, Leon bites the queen's leg in a playful yet defiant manner. It surprises everyone, and the tension in the room rises. Roswitha screams at Leon, calling him by his full name, Leon Cosmodai. She threatens him, saying he will pay for this. Her loud cry echoes through the entire kingdom, causing a stir. The next day arrives, and Noya and Muin have just woken up from their sleep. They rub their eyes, yawning, and start to stretch their little arms. As they wander into the hallway, they notice their mother limping slightly. Curious, they ask her why she is walking that way, wanting to understand what happened. Then their eyes fall upon Leon, who has bruises all over his face. They are shocked by his appearance and wonder what could have caused it. Muin feels a surge of outrage at the sight of Leon's battered face. She cannot stand the thought of anyone hurting her friend. She suspects that Roswitha and Leon must have been playing some fun and wild games without her, and she feels a strong desire to join in on the excitement. She wants to be part of their adventures and share in the fun. The story begins in a beautiful garden that is located right next to the grand castle of the Silver Dragon. This garden is filled with colorful flowers, lush green plants, and the sweet sounds of birds chirping. It is a lovely place where many people come to enjoy the beauty of nature, and today, it serves as the backdrop for a special moment. In this enchanting garden, two figures are walking side by side. Their names are Leon and Roswitha. They are not just any ordinary pair. Leon is a prince, and Roswitha is the queen. As they stroll through the garden, they share soft laughter and gentle smiles, creating a serene atmosphere around them. Nearby, a group of servants is watching the couple from a distance. They exchange glances and whisper to each other, noting how unusual it is to see the prince and queen on a date like this. The servants can't help but think that they make a very sweet couple, as their chemistry seems to light up the surroundings. However, there is something about the way they walk together that feels a bit off to the servants. Despite the lovely scene, the servants sense that the prince and the queen are not as close as they appear. There is a noticeable distance between them, which makes the servants curious. They wonder why such a charming couple seems to be holding back from each other. Roswitha has an intense look in her eyes, which suggests that she is deep in thought or perhaps worried about something. Her expression is serious, and it is clear that there is more going on beneath the surface than what meets the eye. Leon, too, appears to be tense. His shoulders are slightly hunched, and he seems to be preoccupied with his own thoughts. It's as if he is carrying a heavy weight on his mind, which contrasts with the beauty of the garden around him. But what has brought them to this point of tension? Why do they seem so distant from one another despite being in such a lovely setting? Not long ago, Leon had completely refused to go for a walk with Rosweise. He had been distant and unresponsive, avoiding any moments of intimacy or connection with her. This sudden change in behavior left both of them feeling confused and uncertain. Rosweise, however, reminded Leon that it was his responsibility to maintain the appearance of a happy family in front of outsiders. It is important for them to project an image of harmony, even if it doesn't reflect their true feelings. Leon understands this duty but struggles with his own emotions. Interestingly, it was Rosweise who took the initiative to invite Leon for a walk. This was not typical of her. She usually prefers to wait for others to make the first move. This sudden boldness makes Leon wonder if she has some kind of plan in mind. At this moment, two other children, Muin and Noah, are watching the prince and queen from behind a tall tree. Muin thinks that Leon is being foolish because he doesn't even reach out to take Rosweise's hand, which she believes would help bridge the gap between them. Seeing the situation, Muin decides that she wants to help her parents. She believes that a little nudge in the right direction could make a difference in their relationship. Noah, however, feels that they should leave their parents alone to figure things out for themselves. But by the time he voices his concern, it is already too late, as Muin is determined to act. Muin runs up to her mom and dad, interrupting their quiet moment. Leon, surprised by her sudden appearance, asks Muin why she was following them in the first place. In an adorable move, Muin takes it upon herself to make Rosweise and Leon hold each other's hands. She believes this simple gesture could help them connect and feel closer. Muin insists that the next time they go for a walk, they should make sure to hold hands. Her innocent suggestion carries a weight of wisdom that neither Leon nor Rosweise had considered. After making her request, Muin turns around and happily runs off to play with her sister, leaving Leon and Rosweise in a moment of surprise and contemplation. When Muin returns, she finds Noah waiting for her. In a playful but lighthearted manner, Noah pinches Muin's cheek and scolds her for interfering in their parents' affairs. He believes that her actions were inappropriate, but Muin quickly admits that maybe she was wrong and promises not to do it again. For Rosweise and Leon, Muin's actions are unexpected and leave them unsure of how to respond. They exchange glances, feeling a mix of confusion and amusement. Rosweise decides that it might be best to just let things be as they are for now. Interestingly, Leon is unusually obedient that day, which is not typical for him. It seems that Rosweise has a way of influencing him, perhaps softening his usual demeanor. He is not accustomed to receiving such kindness from her, which may have contributed to his current state. Throughout their lives, Rosweise has always been viewed as a queen, a figure of authority and respect. Leon had never expected her to feel shy or embarrassed over something as simple as holding hands. This makes him wonder if her strict persona stems from her difficulty in connecting with her children. Strangely enough, in Rosweise's presence, Noah and Muin refer to her as their mother. This form of address surprises Leon, as it seems to signify a closeness that he didn't realize existed. Logically, if they call Leon dad, it follows that they should call Rosweise mom. Muin consistently calls Leon dad, but she always refers to Rosweise as mother. This may indicate that Muin feels a certain distance from her. This brings up an interesting question. Is there really a significant difference between calling someone mother versus mom? Of course, there is a difference. Leon believes that if Rosweise were to ask the children to call her mom, it would help create a stronger bond between them. He feels that such a small change could make a world of difference in their relationship. Rosweise is taken aback by this thought. She had never considered the impact of such a simple request on her relationship with her children. Suddenly, Rosweise rushes forward, her eyes lighting up as she tells Leon that she understands what he means. It's a moment of clarity for her. She then asks Leon if he misses his home, which catches him off guard. It's strange for her to bring this up, especially since she has no intention of letting him go home anytime soon. However, she hopes that her question might ease his feelings of longing. As they continue their walk, Rosweise and Leon approach a large storage area near the castle. This place is where many items are kept, but it holds more significance than it appears. The queen has not yet given this storage area a proper name, which adds to its mystery. For now, it can simply be referred to as a warehouse or a utility room, but those names do not capture its true essence. The name doesn't make much difference, for inside, the building is filled with treasures and intriguing items. Inside, the atmosphere resembles that of a dragon treasury, with various relics and valuable objects stored away. Leon's eyes widen when he spots a stunning bracelet inside. This bracelet is so exquisite that it could fetch hundreds of thousands of gold coins if sold in the Empire. Rosweise reveals that this bracelet was a gift from her grandmother, making it even more special. Besides the beautiful bracelet, There are many important items for Roswitha that hold sentimental value, reminding her of her past. Leon comments that he has never heard much about Roswitha's homeland. The queen reveals that she doesn't know much about her parents either. She and her sister were raised by their grandmother. Leon feels a connection to Roswitha's story, as he shares a similar background. He grew up in an orphanage, never having met his parents. Eventually, he was adopted by a kind teacher and his wife. This makes Leon wonder why Roswitha has brought him to this storage area. What is her intention? Roswitha possesses something that could help Leon forget about his problems, at least for a little while. It is a set of armor made from black gold, an incredibly rare and valuable material. Leon is captivated by the armor and dreams of being able to own it one day. The thought fills him with excitement. Leon's expression lights up with happiness. Is Roswitha really considering giving him this extraordinary armor? This possibility fills him with joy. However, Roswitha's demeanor turns suspicious. She seems to have some reservations about the armor and its implications. As soon as Leon reaches out to touch the armor, he finds himself unable to do so due to an unseen barrier. It's as if something is preventing him from getting too close. The black gold armor is heavily enchanted with a dragon sign, which adds to its mystique and power. In this moment, Leon realizes he has fallen into a trap that Roswitha had set for him. The stakes are higher than he initially understood, and the situation is more complicated than it seems. Leon is having a hard time understanding what Roswitha is doing. He feels confused about her actions and cannot figure out her intentions. It makes him think a lot, and he wonders why she is behaving this way. The queen has made a special design that looks like a dragon, and she has put this design on the outside of the armor. This dragon pattern is very powerful and will make the armor even better than before. When Leon touches the armor, something amazing happens. The dragon pattern starts to work right away, almost like magic, and he can feel its energy. Leon, feeling a rush of emotions, suddenly falls down to the ground in shock and disbelief. He is surprised and upset, and this reaction shows how much he is affected by everything that is happening around him. Leon realizes that he has been very careless in this situation. He thinks about how Roswitha is somehow responsible for his mistakes, and he feels that she has tricked him in some way. He is frustrated with both himself and her. The dragon pattern that has been added to the armor is not just a small change, it has actually doubled its power. This means that the armor is now much stronger and more effective than it was before, giving Leon a lot to think about. Leon, who is known as the Dragon Slayer, is now faced with a big question. He wonders if he will be able to take on this new challenge after everything that has happened. It is a moment of uncertainty for him. Leon is feeling a lot of pain in his body. The intensity of the pain is overwhelming, and he is struggling to cope with it. It makes him feel weak and vulnerable. In this moment of pain and confusion, Leon completely loses control over himself. His emotions and physical sensations take over, and he can't think straight. He feels lost. Even though Leon is unable to move his body as he would like, there is a strong desire growing inside him. This feeling is more intense than ever before, and it adds to his confusion. Leon thinks back to his past actions and wonders if Roswitha holds any grudges against him for what he did to her before. He believes she has forgiven him, but in reality, Roswitha has been plotting her revenge for several days. She has been thinking about how to catch him off guard, and he didn't realize just how easy it would be for her. Leon is feeling completely weakened by everything that has happened. His strength and confidence have been drained, leaving him in a vulnerable state. Roswitha shows her incredible skills in this situation. She is really good at what she does, and Leon can't help but find her abilities somewhat charming, even if he is annoyed. It turns out that everything the queen has said about her past and family is not true. She has never even met her parents. Despite this, she allowed Mu Young to call her mom and even let him hold her hand, which is surprising. While this information about her past is true, it doesn't change her current plans or intentions. Roswitha is focused on her goals, and that is what matters to her right now. Leon tries to remember what he said to Roswitha before all of this happened. He reflects on their past conversations, hoping to find some clarity in their relationship. Leon wonders if Roswitha enjoys the act of conquering others. He thinks about her motivations and what drives her actions. Yes, Roswitha does indeed enjoy this feeling. It brings her a sense of satisfaction and excitement, which she finds hard to resist. Leon questions whether his beloved wife is ready for the challenges that lie ahead. He thinks about their relationship and how they will face obstacles together. As time passes, Leon finds himself reflecting on everything that has happened so far. Each moment feels significant. Finally, Leon feels a sense of relief that a certain situation has come to an end. He is grateful for this feeling of closure. Roswitha leans in very close to Leon, creating a moment filled with tension. It makes him feel uncertain about her intentions. Leon is puzzled by Roswitha's actions. He doesn't understand what she is trying to do or what she wants from him. When Leon compares himself to how he looked 2 years ago, he notices some changes. The scars on his face have faded a little, but he appears more tired and worn out. He also shows more signs of being an adult, which is a new development. Leon starts to realize that Roswitha might be trying to trick him again. He is determined not to fall for her tactics this time. He feels wiser now. It seems that Leon has truly become smarter through his experiences. He is more cautious and aware of what is going on around him. However, there is one important point that Leon cannot ignore. It weighs heavily on his mind. Leon's health is not as good as it used to be. He feels weaker and more fragile than before, which is concerning for him. He is not used to hearing such truths about his condition. It is a difficult reality to face. Leon has always believed that he was in the same shape as he was in the past. He thought he could still handle everything just as he did before. But deep down, Leon knows that he is no longer in the same shape as he used to be. This realization brings him a mix of emotions. Leon is deeply hurt by these words, and the pain is almost unbearable. He feels like crying, overwhelmed by his feelings. The next day arrives, bringing with it new challenges and opportunities. Leon hopes for a change. Leon, who did not sleep well the previous night, notices that Roswitha is approaching him. He feels anxious about their interaction. The queen greets him with a cheerful good morning. Her tone seems light, but Leon is still wary. With a sly grin, Roswitha points out that Leon did not have a good night's sleep. She seems to take pleasure in this observation. Even though it was Roswitha's actions that caused him to lose sleep, she will not admit her role in the matter. She remains coy and playful. Their daughter Noah stands nearby, watching the interaction. She notices the small conflict between her parents and feels the tension. Roswitha reminds Leon that the entrance exams for Saint Hate Academy are very strict. Because of this, he needs to start teaching Noah about dragons today. For now, Leon's only way to show his worth is by demonstrating his knowledge in this area. He feels a sense of responsibility. The problem is that Leon was not in the best mood yesterday. He is still recovering from his feelings of frustration. He is determined to help Noah succeed in her test, but he also sees this as a chance to negotiate something in return from Roswitha. He wants to exchange something valuable. Roswitha agrees to Leon's terms, but she makes it clear that it shouldn't be anything too excessive. She wants to keep things reasonable. A promise is important to both of them, and Leon understands that they need to honor their commitments. Leon knows that he will have to study hard to prepare Noah for the exam. Roswitha encourages him not to overwork himself in the process. After their conversation, Roswitha leaves, and Noah turns to Leon. She asks him why her parents are always fighting. Her curiosity shines through. Leon is taken aback by Noah's question. He asks her again, trying to clarify what she just said about Roswitha. Noah referred to Roswitha as Mom, which surprises Leon. He had not thought about it before. With great surprise, Leon asks Noah what she prefers to call Roswitha, Mom or Mother. He wants to understand her feelings. Leon feels that he is right to ask this question. It is important to him to know how Noah sees their family dynamics. However, Noah doesn't quite understand Leon's question. She seems confused about why he is asking. The little girl shifts the conversation and asks Leon when they will start their lesson. She speeds up her pace, eager to begin, and Leon runs after her, ready to support her learning journey.
The story begins in the children's room of the majestic Silver Dragon Castle, a place filled with enchanting stories and vibrant colors, where the walls are adorned with beautiful murals depicting heroic dragons and their adventures. The soft glow of moonlight filters through the delicate curtains, casting playful shadows across the room, creating a serene atmosphere perfect for dreaming. In this cozy scene, Leon is sitting at a sturdy wooden desk, piled high with books of various sizes and colors. He is deep in thought, his brow furrowed in concentration as he flips through the pages of a particularly thick tome. The room is filled with the faint sound of pages turning, and the air is tinged with the scent of old parchment and ink, invoking a sense of nostalgia and knowledge. Just then, Roswitha, a figure of elegance and authority, enters the room with a graceful sweep of her robe. She glances at Leon, raising an eyebrow in disapproval as she comments on how late it is, her voice echoing slightly in the quiet chamber. Concern is etched on her face, for she knows that Leon's tendency to stay up late often leads to exhaustion. Leon, unfazed by her remark, explains that he has been contemplating Noah's exceptional learning abilities. He believes that simple, straightforward lessons are inadequate for her sharp mind. He plans to meticulously organize essential knowledge and design test questions that will challenge her intellect, fully aware that this endeavor will require him to sacrifice his sleep once more. Leon reflects on Noah's remarkable intelligence, convinced that with the right approach, she can master the material and take the test within a month. He envisions her flourishing under his guidance, her potential waiting to be unlocked, and he feels a surge of determination to help her succeed. Roswitha, who has been listening intently, interjects with a hint of inevitability in her tone. She expresses her belief that Noah is following in her footsteps, suggesting that the girl's path is already predetermined by her lineage and the legacy of the dragons. However, Leon counters her assertion, maintaining that Noah's journey is unique and not bound by anyone else's expectations. He is optimistic that she can carve her own path, free from the shadows of those who came before her. Leon's own history as a genius dragon slayer adds weight to his argument. He recalls the years of rigorous training, where he consistently topped both written and practical exams. Each year, he received prestigious scholarships, a testament to his hard work and dedication. His reputation as an outstanding student precedes him, and he is determined to pass on his knowledge to Noah. Intrigued, Leon poses a question to the queen about her own experiences in school. He wonders how she managed her studies and what challenges she faced. The question catches Rosweise off guard, momentarily silencing her with its unexpectedness. Rosweise has always viewed Leon as a reckless warrior, a man of action rather than intellect, capable only of fighting and slaying dragons. She never anticipated that he possessed such depth of knowledge and understanding, and this revelation shifts her perception of him. While she acknowledges Leon's strengths, Rosweise reminds him that he is currently confined to the castle, trapped within its walls. In their verbal sparring, she has managed to gain the upper hand, using her words as deftly as a sword. Leon reflects on the precariousness of their situation, knowing that one misstep could lead to dire consequences. He likens their current predicament to a tiger being bullied by a dragon during tumultuous times, emphasizing the delicate balance of power and vulnerability. Suddenly, Rosweise's gaze lands on a bright cluster of chili peppers sitting on the table, their vibrant color stark against the wooden surface. Curiosity piques as she leans closer to inspect them. With a hint of amusement, Rosweise inquires why Leon has brought such fiery peppers into his office. She raises an eyebrow, intrigued by the oddity of the situation. Leon, with a casual shrug, explains that he took them from the kitchen, hoping they would add a bit of zest to his late-night work. He enjoys the invigorating flavor and believes it helps him stay alert. In a moment of impulsiveness, Leon bites into one of the yellow dragon peppers right in front of Rosweise. As the heat explodes in his mouth, a look of concern crosses Rosweise's face. The yellow dragon pepper is notorious for its intense spiciness, and she worries that he may not handle it well. Leon's expression morphs dramatically as the fiery heat overwhelms him. His eyes widen, and he instinctively reaches for his throat, feeling the burn intensify with each passing second. Realizing he has overdosed on the pepper's potency, Leon feels the sharpness coursing through him like wildfire. Panic sets in as he struggles to regain control over his senses. In a frantic search for relief, Leon dashes around the room, desperately looking for water. His mind races, but he finds no source of hydration within reach, only the mocking silence of the empty room. Just then, Rosweise steps forward, halting his frantic movements. She leans against him, her presence both grounding and unexpected, and he feels a rush of embarrassment wash over him. The sudden closeness catches Leon off guard, and he feels heat rising to his cheeks, a flush of discomfort mingling with the lingering spice in his mouth. Rosweise, concerned for his well-being, decides to take matters into her own hands. She intends to cool him down with her icy touch, believing it might provide him some relief from the burning sensation. To Leon's surprise, her fingertips are indeed icy, and as they make contact with his skin, a wave of soothing relief washes over him. The coolness contrasts sharply with the heat of the pepper, creating an unexpectedly pleasant sensation. The touch is not sharp or jarring like ice. Instead, it is soft and gentle, comforting him in a way he never anticipated. The chill spreads through him, easing the discomfort and allowing him to breathe a little easier. Grateful for her unexpected kindness, Leon expresses his thanks to Rosweise, feeling a newfound appreciation for her presence in the room. Both of them share a moment of awkwardness, a silent understanding passing between them as they process the unusual situation that just unfolded. With a playful smile, Rosweise urges Leon to prioritize his health by going to bed early and avoiding excessive chili consumption in the future. Her tone is light, but there's a hint of genuine concern behind her words. As she prepares to leave, Leon finds himself wishing for just a moment longer, longing for her to linger and touch his face a little more, allowing the coolness to settle in. However, reality strikes him hard as he remembers that Rosweise is, after all, a cunning dragon known for her tricks and traps. He recalls how she once lured him into a precarious situation, and he feels a mix of admiration and wariness towards her. Leon realizes that he needs to find a way to recover quickly from this fiery mishap. He decides to seek out remedies that could help alleviate his discomfort and restore his balance. As he rummages through various books on medicinal plants, he studies their properties with great interest. He learns that red dragon fruit is known for its ability to regulate blood, but unfortunately, it does not suit his current needs. Just as he begins to feel disheartened, Leon stumbles upon a section dedicated to remedies specifically designed to counteract the effects of spicy foods. His heart races with excitement as he realizes he may have found exactly what he needs. Overjoyed at this discovery, Leon feels a surge of relief and hope. He quickly jots down notes, eager to try the remedies that could provide him the comfort he craves. The next day dawns bright and clear, and Leon prepares to check Noah's previous test results. He sits at his desk, focused and determined to assess her progress accurately. When he finally meets with Noah, she expresses a belief that she only scored 50 points out of 100 on her test. She wears a frown, her disappointment evident as she nervously awaits the verdict. To her surprise, Leon reveals that she actually scored 62 points, a significant achievement that surpasses her expectations. He sees a flicker of disbelief in her eyes as she processes this information. However, rather than joy, Noah's expression darkens. She seems unhappy with her score, a puzzling reaction given the positive outcome. Leon muses on the strangeness of her discontent. It seems that Noah possesses an inflated sense of self-worth, which has led to her dissatisfaction despite her commendable performance. At her age, she should be playing freely like other children her age, yet she has chosen to take on the responsibilities of studying and learning. This decision weighs heavily on her young shoulders. Recognizing her potential, Leon praises Noah for her efforts, emphasizing that 62 points on her first try is an impressive feat. He hopes his words will inspire her to see her accomplishments in a more positive light. Gradually, Noah begins to calm down, her frown lifting slightly as she absorbs Leon's encouragement. She feels a glimmer of pride in her heart. However, just as the atmosphere lightens, Leon suddenly chokes on something lodged in his throat. Panic flashes across his face as he struggles to regain his composure. He wonders if he has indeed eaten too much chili, which has left his throat sore and scratchy. The burning sensation returns, reminding him of his earlier misadventure. Noah, perceptive as ever, quickly realizes what has happened. She informs him that Rosweise had already told her about his chili escapade, and her eyes widen with concern. Leon sheepishly admits that he had indeed consumed the spicy yellow pepper of the dragon clan the previous night in an attempt to stay awake, explaining that it was no wonder he now faced the consequences. In an act of kindness, Noah hands Leon a small packet of pills, indicating that Rosweise asked her to deliver them to him. The gesture is simple yet thoughtful, bridging their growing bond. Leon feels a warmth in his chest as he accepts the pills. He instructs Noah to thank Rosweise on his behalf, grateful for her concern despite their earlier banter. With a renewed sense of purpose, Leon offers to continue their studying session. He senses a shift in their relationship with Noah, a gradual closeness developing as they share knowledge and experiences. As they embark on this new chapter of learning together, Leon feels optimistic about the road ahead, knowing that with patience and dedication, they can achieve great things side by side. The story unfolds within the grand and majestic palace, specifically in a room adorned with the intricate and mystical designs of the dragon's Kakna, a sacred space that resonates with ancient magic and the echoes of a rich history. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation as the narrative continues to develop in this enchanting setting. Taking on the responsibility of preparing the meal for everyone, Leon stepped into the role of a chef, determined to impress his companions with his culinary skills. The loyal servants, ever eager to assist him, diligently gathered all the necessary ingredients from various storerooms, ensuring that Leon had everything he needed to create his masterpiece. However, Leon had a clever strategy in mind. He specifically instructed the servants to bring an assortment of unnecessary ingredients, items that were not part of the typical recipe. This way, he hoped to keep his true intentions hidden, preventing anyone from guessing the unique dish he was planning to concoct. The medicine he was attempting to create was quite popular among the Dragon Clan, celebrated for its effectiveness and revered for its properties. Given its widespread use, Leon felt confident that he could navigate the cooking process without encountering any major issues. With determination in his eyes, Leon began the intricate process. His first step involved carefully mixing the carbon components that were essential to the medicinal formula, ensuring that each ingredient was precisely measured and combined to achieve the desired effect. After thoroughly mixing the components, he poured the concoction into a large, sturdy saucepan, watching as the ingredients settled together, forming a vibrant mixture that held the promise of success. Hours slipped by, and despite his efforts, Leon faced yet another setback. Frustrated, he couldn't comprehend what was going wrong. Each attempt ended in failure, leaving him puzzled about the errors that were causing him to miss the mark. He had meticulously followed the method outlined in the ancient tome, and each time he reached the final stage of purification and separation, something went awry, thwarting his progress and leaving him disheartened. The recipe clearly stated that at excessively high temperatures, the medicinal properties would be rendered useless, while too low temperatures would prevent any processing whatsoever, creating a delicate balance that Leon struggled to achieve. Leon realized that simply shaking the mixture by hand would not suffice. Achieving the necessary separation effect required professional tools and equipment that he did not have access to at this moment, adding to his frustration. As he pondered his predicament, a fierce thunderstorm raged outside the towering palace windows, the skies darkening ominously as nature unleashed its fury. The sound of raindrops began to patter against the glass, and Leon could sense that a heavy downpour was imminent, a natural phenomenon that might just provide him with an unexpected solution. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the room with its brilliance, followed by the resounding clap of thunder that echoed through the palace halls. Suddenly, a thought struck Leon with clarity. He recalled a lesson from his old alchemy teacher, who had once mentioned that the electrolysis of impurities, when conducted under the right conditions, could yield a higher success rate than traditional methods that relied solely on fire. With a newfound hope, Leon contemplated the idea of harnessing the power of the thunderstorm. It dawned on him that this natural electrical force could be the key he needed to unlock the potential of his medicine. He felt an exhilarating surge of determination, knowing that this might be the opportunity he had been waiting for, the perfect catalyst to enhance his concoction. After half an hour of focused effort and anticipation, Leon finally achieved the breakthrough he desperately sought. The medicine of the Dragon Clan, once elusive, was now within his grasp, a testament to his perseverance and ingenuity. The preparation of this particular medicine was deceptively simple, yet it held profound significance within the Dragon Clan, known for its powerful effects and revered traditions. Just then, Muan approached Leon with a curious expression, her eyes sparkling with intrigue as she inquired about his ongoing project. Caught off guard by her sudden appearance, Leon hesitated, unsure of how to respond to her unexpected presence. It took him a moment to process her question, realizing that Muan was genuinely interested in his work and was standing right in front of him, awaiting an explanation. Muan's curiosity piqued when she noticed the small vial of pills in Leon's hand, prompting her to ask what exactly he was concocting. With a hint of mischief, Leon replied that the pills were intended for Rosweiss, a gesture of support for her recent hard work and efforts. In truth, however, Leon was secretly crafting the pills for himself, driven by a desire to explore the limits of his own capabilities and the effects of the dragon medicine. Muan, trusting Leon's word, accepted his explanation without question, believing in his intentions and sincerity. Leon felt a sense of satisfaction, knowing that his cunning plan was working, and he managed to maintain the facade of altruism. Meanwhile, the rain continued to pour outside, creating a soothing backdrop to Leon's thoughts as he contemplated the complexities of the Dragon Clan's nutrition. Lying on the bed, Leon's mind raced with possibilities. He was eager to try the medicine, but he was also acutely aware of the risks involved, given that it was not formulated for human consumption. He grappled with the idea that he might experience adverse effects, but the allure of the dragon's medicine was too enticing to resist. The sound of footsteps echoed in the corridor just outside his door, disrupting his thoughts and drawing his attention. Rosweiss entered the room, her expression reflecting a mixture of dissatisfaction and curiosity as she sought out Leon. She had heard from Muen that Leon was preparing a special medicine, purportedly similar to a chocolate candy, designed to help her restore her body's balance after a taxing period of work. Leon was taken aback, not anticipating that Muen would relay his plans to Rosweiss so quickly, a revelation that caught him off guard. To his surprise, Rosweiss didn't come merely to interrogate him. Instead, she aimed to commend him for dedicating time to practice alchemy, even amid the chaos surrounding them. With genuine interest, Rosweiss asked Leon if he could reveal the results of his labor, her enthusiasm palpable. Realizing that resisting her request would be futile, Leon handed her the box containing the pills. He understood that even if he had refused, Rosweiss would have taken them by force, driven by her own determination. As Rosweiss examined the pills, she praised Leon for his efforts, acknowledging the importance of his contributions to the Dragon Clan and their well-being. Leon's curiosity was piqued. He wondered whether these pills could have any effect on humans like himself. With a playful smile, Rosweiss urged Leon to take the pills himself, encouraging him to experience their effects firsthand. Confused, Leon questioned why these pills were supposedly contraindicated for him, seeking clarification on their potential dangers. Rosweiss explained that the medicine was specifically formulated for the Dragon Clan, and its potency was far too great for a human body to handle safely. She cautioned him, stating that a person would likely be overwhelmed by the power contained within the medicine, unable to withstand its intensity. A realization dawned on Leon. He felt as though he had been deceived. He had faced countless Dragon Kings in battle, yet here he was, unable to resist the allure of a single pill. In a moment of impulsiveness, Leon placed a pill in his mouth and swallowed it, determined to test his limits despite the warnings. Rosweiss, sensing his intentions, wanted to intervene and prevent him from making a grave mistake, but it was too late. Leon's courage often led him into reckless decisions, and this was no exception. An immediate sense of unease washed over Leon as the effects of the pill began to take hold, his body reacting in ways he had not anticipated. He realized that he had made a critical error in judgment. The warnings about not testing the pill on himself echoed in his mind, a clear indication that he should have heeded the advice. In a desperate attempt to counteract the effects, Rosweiss harnessed her dragon magic, focusing her energy on helping Leon regain control. Leon, feeling the rush of power coursing through him, grasped Rosweiss's hand tightly, imploring her not to move as he attempted to stabilize himself amidst the chaos. This entire situation was part of Leon's meticulously crafted plan. He had gained significant strength, and now he harbored a dark intention. He wanted Rosweiss dead, driven by a desire for power and control that had consumed him. The weather outside has taken a turn for the worse, with dark clouds gathering ominously in the sky, heavy rain starting to fall, and strong winds whipping through the streets, creating an atmosphere of impending storms that feels almost oppressive. Leon, feeling an overwhelming surge of tremendous energy from the thunderstorm raging around him, can sense the crackling electricity in the air, filling him with an exhilarating yet dangerous power that seems to awaken something primal within him. Rosweiss, witnessing Leon harnessing lightning magic to engulf his own body, is taken aback and filled with a mix of awe and fear. She knows all too well the inherent dangers of such reckless behavior, as the very forces of nature he is manipulating could easily turn against him. Suddenly, an unsettling wave of weakness washes over Leon, causing him to stagger and lose his balance, as if the immense energy he had been channeling has suddenly drained from his body, leaving him vulnerable and disoriented. With a thud, Leon collapses onto the bed, his body giving in to exhaustion. Rosweiss instinctively rushes to his side, gripping his arm to steady him and prevent him from falling further into a state of unconsciousness. As she looks at him, Rosweiss can't help but think that Leon has lost his mind. His reckless actions and the strange energy surrounding him make her question his judgment and mental state. "Just wait here," Rosweiss tells Leon urgently, her voice tinged with concern. She quickly leaves the room to call for a doctor, hoping that professional help can address whatever is happening to him. Just then, Rosweiss feels a strange sensation, a tingling in the air around her, as if something unexpected is about to happen, heightening her anxiety about Leon's condition. To her surprise, Leon, wearing a relieved expression, suddenly grabs Rosweiss by the tail, a gesture meant to keep her close and prevent her from leaving, as if his instinctive reaction is to hold on to her in his time of need. Roswitha turns back, her eyes wide with confusion, a questioning look on her face as she tries to comprehend his sudden actions and what they might mean. In an unexpected twist, Leon's demeanor shifts dramatically. He becomes overly affectionate, calling Roswitha his wife in a manner that seems both sincere and bewildering, leaving her utterly stunned. Roswitha is left in shock. She had never anticipated hearing such intimate words from Leon, and the unexpected declaration sends her thoughts spiraling. Despite Leon's insistence on keeping her close, the Dragon Queen finds herself struggling against his hold, wanting to break free from this bizarre turn of events, while also feeling an inexplicable pull towards him. Roswitha's mind races with confusion. The power of the great dragon was meant to enhance Leon's physical abilities, not cloud his judgment or alter his behavior. She wonders if the lightning magic might be distorting his mind in ways she had not foreseen. Yet, as Leon continues to act foolishly, it seems that his life is no longer in danger, and he appears to be in a state of bliss, oblivious to the chaos around him. Leon remains firmly attached to Roswitha's tail, and she, exasperated, inquires about his desires, wanting to understand what is going through his mind at this moment. With an earnest expression, Leon expresses his desire to have more children, a proclamation that leaves Roswitha incredulous, given their current circumstances. Roswitha's mind reels, overwhelmed by the sheer absurdity of his request. She cannot fathom how he could even consider such a thing at a time like this. The irony isn't lost on her. Leon struggles to care for the 2 children they already have, yet he is voicing an eagerness for even more. It seems his dreams have grown wild, and he continuously pleads with her for additional offspring. However, Roswitha considers that it might be easier to humor him now, to agree to his whims, so they can avoid potential conflicts later on. Not only does Roswitha entertain the idea of a 3rd child, but she is also intrigued by the prospect of a 4th. Leon expresses his readiness to take this leap if she agrees to accompany him back to his hometown, and she responds that they will return once all their current issues are resolved. Leon's face lights up with joy, reminiscent of a child receiving a beloved toy, while Roswitha's growing annoyance simmers beneath the surface, feeling overwhelmed by his exuberance. In a fit of affection, Leon lavishes praise on Roswitha, calling her a wonderful wife and attempting to kiss her, an action that confounds her further. His behavior is erratic, and she can't shake the feeling that he shouldn't have experimented with those pills. Roswitha, increasingly frustrated, wonders how long Leon will cling to her and contemplates the boundaries of their relationship, determined not to take advantage of the current situation. In a moment of anger, Roswitha slaps Leon across the face, a reaction born from a mix of exasperation and concern for his well-being. Yet, as the sting of her slap resonates, she realizes she may have hit him too hard, a pang of guilt washing over her as she sees the surprise etched on his face. Worry creeps into Roswitha's heart as she observes Leon, concerned that his erratic behavior might indicate a deeper issue that needs addressing. Leon, with a pained expression, admits that he is not feeling well, the admission only adding to Roswitha's concern for his state. Suddenly, Roswitha notices that the mark on her body is glowing brightly, an unusual occurrence that draws her attention away from Leon's plight. Confusion fills Roswitha's mind as she tries to comprehend why the tag has activated, wondering if it is connected to the strange events unfolding before her. Without warning, Leon pushes Roswitha away, causing her to stumble back and fall onto the bed, an action that leaves her bewildered and unsure of his intentions. Roswitha looks at him, perplexed by his abrupt shift in behavior. Leon, still grappling with his discomfort, admits to feeling unwell, his confession echoing in the charged atmosphere. As he speaks, Leon feels an overwhelming heat coursing through his body, a sensation that intensifies and makes him acutely aware of his physical state. The combination of the medicine he took and the lightning magic he used is wreaking havoc on his mind, distorting his thoughts and actions in ways he cannot control. In a bizarre twist, Leon begins to sniff Roswitha's tail, a behavior that she finds utterly shocking. As she grapples with her emotions, she realizes she can no longer restrain herself. If he continues this way, she will have to take decisive action. "Leon, please get off me!" Roswitha pleads, a mix of frustration and urgency in her voice as she tries to regain her composure. In a surprising move, Leon reaches out and touches Roswitha's nose gently, a gesture that feels both affectionate and bewildering in the context of their current predicament. He confesses his deep feelings for Rosweise, expressing a fondness that seems to have surged forth uncontrollably, leaving her speechless. Rosweise is at a loss to understand the rapid shift in Leon's behavior. It's as if he has transformed into a blend of madness and unexpected bravery, leaving her questioning everything she thought she knew about him. As she observes him, it seems that an inner part of Rosweise might indeed be responding to his advances, creating a conflict within her. Leon, feeling overwhelmed by a physiological need, asks Rosweise for help, to which she surprisingly agrees, but only this time, making it clear that this is a significant exception to their usual boundaries. In an unexpected turn of events, Rosweise and Leon find themselves entwined in an intimate moment, making love in a haze of conflicting emotions and desires. The day begins in the beautiful castle of the Silver Dragons, a magnificent structure that rises majestically against the backdrop of a clear blue sky. The castle, with its shimmering spires and intricately carved stone walls, reflects the morning sunlight, casting sparkles across the expansive grounds that surround it. Birds chirp cheerfully, and a gentle breeze rustles the leaves of the ancient trees that stand guard around the castle. Leon just woke up, slowly blinking his eyes as the warmth of the sun filtered through the elegant drapes of his chamber. He stretched his limbs, feeling a lingering sense of drowsiness that refused to dissipate. The soft linens of the bed cradled him, but the remnants of sleep clung to him like a fog, making it difficult to shake off the feeling of grogginess. Rosweise was in bed with him, her serene presence adding to the tranquility of the moment. She lay there, her silver hair cascading over the pillows, shimmering like strands of moonlight. The sight of her peaceful face brought a smile to Leon's lips, though confusion began to creep into his mind as he tried to recall the events that led to this situation. Leon jumped out of bed in surprise and asked Rosweise what she was doing here, his voice crackling with a mix of astonishment and curiosity. His heart raced as he struggled to comprehend how they had ended up in this intimate setting, a cocktail of emotions swirling within him as he faced her. Leon's whole body ached for some reason, a dull throb resonating in his muscles and joints. It felt as though he had participated in a grueling battle, though he could not remember any such conflict. Each movement stirred discomfort, and he grimaced as he tried to shake off the feeling. Leon didn't remember what happened last night, a blank space in his memory that left him feeling disoriented and uneasy. The more he searched his mind for clues, the more elusive the answers became, as if they were hidden behind a thick veil of fog. But apparently, Leon completely forgot about what he was doing, as if a spell had been cast to erase the memories of the night before. He felt a sense of frustration and dread creeping in, the unknown hanging over him like a dark cloud. Leon notices a bunch of hickeys on Rosweise's body and does not believe that he could have done them, his heart sinking at the sight. The evidence of their intimacy was undeniable, yet disbelief coursed through him, leaving him wondering how he could have lost control in such a way. But then Leon still manages to remember some moments, fleeting images flashing through his mind like scattered pieces of a puzzle. Laughter, warmth, and moments of vulnerability began to surface, igniting a mix of emotions within him as he tried to piece together what had transpired. Leon blames himself very much for this, guilt gnawing at him as he reflected on his actions. The weight of responsibility settled heavily on his shoulders, and he couldn't help but feel that he had crossed a line he never intended to breach. He begged Rosweise to do this to him, desperation lacing his voice as he sought understanding and forgiveness. His heart raced as he searched her eyes, hoping for a glimmer of reassurance that he hadn't ruined everything between them. Leon remembered everything. He was very ashamed and did not know what to say, his mind racing with thoughts of how to express his regret. The embarrassment washed over him like a tidal wave, and he felt exposed in a way he had never experienced before. Leon asks Rosweise not to remind him of this situation anymore, his cheeks flushed with shame. He longed to bury the memories of the night deep within him, to move forward without the burden of this incident weighing him down. Initially, Leon wanted to use the Great Dragon power only to support his body and teach Rosweise a lesson about the importance of responsibility. He did not expect that the medicine would have such an effect on him, transforming a moment of learning into a whirlwind of unexpected emotions. Leon asks Rosweise for forgiveness for what happened, his voice trembling as he spoke. He poured his heart into his apology, hoping she could see the sincerity in his eyes. Roswitha replies that everything is fine, her tone warm and soothing, though he sensed an undercurrent of concern in her words. But now Roswitha has no doubts about the durability of Leon's body, her confidence in him solidified by the events of the previous night. She regarded him with a mixture of admiration and playful teasing, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Roswitha looked at him strangely, her expression a blend of amusement and curiosity. It was clear that she found the situation both bewildering and entertaining, and her gaze lingered on him with an intensity that made him feel both shy and intrigued. Roswitha moved closer to Leon, her warmth enveloping him as she leaned in. The intimacy of the moment wrapped around them like a comforting blanket, easing the tension that had built between them in the aftermath of their unexpected night. She took him by the face and said in his ear that she was very pleased with his performance yesterday. She hopes that Leon will continue in the same spirit, her voice low and sultry, igniting a mix of pride and embarrassment within him. But Leon doesn't want to become a maintenance person, feeling a sense of determination to remain true to himself despite the playful banter. He wanted to ensure that their relationship remained authentic and grounded, free from the weight of expectations. Roswitha asks Leon about their dispute, her eyes glinting with curiosity as she recalled the playful challenge they had engaged in. The lightheartedness of the conversation helped ease the previous tension and brought a smile to Leon's face. Leon won, which means he has to come up with a wish for Roswitha, the stakes of their playful rivalry still fresh in his mind. He pondered what could possibly be worthy of the victory he had achieved, wanting to ensure that it was meaningful. Leon thought about it, considering the implications of his wish and the potential impact it could have on their lives. He wanted to make sure it was something that would strengthen their bond and bring them closer together. He wants Roswitha to send someone to the Empire to check on his teacher Leon and his family, a sense of responsibility driving his desire. He knew that they were important to him and that he needed to ensure their well-being, especially after the events of the previous night. Roswitha replied that she and her Silver Dragon clan were not good at arranging such sabotage, but she agreed to help, her willingness to support him shining through despite her reservations. Her determination to assist him warmed Leon's heart. Leon thanked her, relief washing over him as he felt grateful for her assistance. Her loyalty and support meant the world to him, and he cherished the bond they shared, knowing it would only grow stronger through their challenges. The story continues in the courtyard of the Silver Dragon Castle, where the sun shone brightly, casting playful shadows on the cobblestone paths. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter and the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze, creating a lively backdrop to their ongoing adventures. Tired Leon is studying with his daughter Muin. The little girl's bright eyes filled with concern as she observed her father closely. She thought Leon was sick, her innocent worry tugging at his heartstrings as he tried to reassure her. Leon asked the girl how she came to such a conclusion, genuinely curious about what had led her to worry about him. His heart swelled with affection for his daughter, wanting to comfort her and alleviate her fears. It turns out that her mother told her that Leon took the medicine on his own yesterday, a revelation that struck Leon like a bolt of lightning. He felt a surge of frustration at Roswitha for sharing such details with their daughter, realizing the unintended consequences of his actions. Leon got angry at Roswitha, his protective instincts flaring up. He believes that such things should not be said to a child, feeling the weight of responsibility as a father to shield Muin from unnecessary worries. Muin continues to ask questions to her father, her curiosity unyielding as she sought answers. But he gently asks her not to ask unnecessary questions that do not directly concern her, wanting to guide her toward more appropriate topics without stifling her inquisitive nature. Muin notices the blood in Leon's mouth and starts to get very nervous, her wide eyes reflecting her alarm. The sight caused her heart to race, her mind racing with concern for her father's safety. Leon replies that he is fine and asks the girl not to worry, forcing a reassuring smile to ease her fears. He wanted to protect her innocence and ensure she felt secure in their world, despite the complexities of their lives. Leon offered to make Muin a new toy, his heart brightening at the thought of bringing her joy. The girl immediately agreed, her face lighting up with excitement at the prospect of a new plaything crafted by her father's hands. After a while, Leon collected a Rubik's Cube, the colorful puzzle bringing a sense of nostalgia as he reminisced about his own childhood. The familiar shapes and colors sparked a sense of creativity within him as he began assembling the toy. He explained the principle of operation of this toy to the girl, his enthusiasm contagious as he shared the mechanics behind it. Muin was very happy, her laughter ringing out like music as she eagerly absorbed the information, fascinated by the world of puzzles. At school, in the lessons of alchemical mechanics, Leon studied simple mechanical connections, so it was not difficult for him to assemble such a toy. His knowledge and skills allowed him to create something special for Muin, reinforcing their bond through shared experiences. Suddenly, Leon hears something, a noise that seemed out of place in the otherwise tranquil courtyard. He paused, his instincts sharpening as he focused on the source of the disturbance, curiosity piquing his interest. He turned back to the exit from the backyard of the house, stepping cautiously toward the sound. His heart raced as he wondered what could be happening just beyond his line of sight, a mix of apprehension and excitement coursing through him. Muin asks Leon what he noticed, her voice filled with curiosity as she followed him with wide-eyed wonder. She wanted to know what had captured her father's attention so completely, her innocent perspective adding to the intrigue. The fact is that Leon felt the dragon's gaze on him from the direction where his second daughter, Noah, is currently training. The connection he felt with her was palpable, a bond that transcended the physical distance between them, grounding him in love and pride. If she doesn't want to join them, then don't bother her, Leon thought, wanting to respect Noah's space while also feeling a sense of pride in her dedication to her training. He hoped she would find joy in her pursuits and flourish under the watchful eyes of her mentors. The action continues at night. Noah comes into the sleeping Muin's room to go to bed too, the darkness wrapping around her like a comforting cloak. She moved quietly, careful not to disturb her sister's peaceful slumber, but she notices on her desk the same toy as Muin's. Leon made it too, especially for her. The sight of the Rubik's Cube evoked a sense of warmth, reminding her of her father's love and creativity, even in the smallest of things. But Noah is not interested in these children's toys, her heart set on more mature pursuits and interests. She felt a twinge of disdain for what she considered frivolous, her teenage sensibilities pushing her toward more serious endeavors. But as soon as she picked it up, she became interested. The colorful puzzle sparked her curiosity, and she found herself turning it in her hands, fascinated by the challenge it presented. She couldn't help but smile as memories of her father teaching her how to solve puzzles flooded back. She thanked Dad, her heart swelling with gratitude as she realized the thoughtfulness behind the gift. In that moment, she felt a connection to him that transcended their usual interactions, a reminder of the love that bound their family together. The next day comes. Lately, Muin has noticed that Noah often hides something in a box and does not tell anyone about it, her curiosity piqued by her sister's secretive behavior. Muin felt a mix of intrigue and concern, wondering what could be so important that Noah felt the need to keep it hidden. When Noah left, Muin decided to see what was inside this box, her adventurous spirit guiding her as she sought to uncover the mystery that had captured her attention. She tiptoed into Noah's room, her heart racing with excitement and a twinge of apprehension. There she found Leon's Rubik's Cube, fragments of Leon's black and gold armor, and letters written by Leon. It seems that everything in this box is somehow connected with her dad, Leon, each item telling a story of love, protection, and the legacy he had built for his family. Muin understood. It turns out that Noah treats Dad very well, her heart swelling with pride as she recognized the bond her sister shared with their father. At that moment, someone appeared behind Muin, interrupting her thoughts. Noah took the box from Muin and asked Muin not to peek, her tone protective as she safeguarded the secrets contained within. Muin felt very ashamed, caught in the act of curiosity and discovery, realizing that some mysteries were meant to remain hidden, even from those she loved. The captivating narrative continues to unfold at the prestigious Academy of the Holy Spirit, a revered institution known for its rich history and esteemed reputation in nurturing young dragons. This academy stands as a beacon of hope and excellence, drawing in the most promising talents from across the realms. The Academy firmly believes that regardless of whether the focus is on asexual oviposition or the more traditional method of live births within a dragon couple, the only environment conducive to raising a qualified young dragon is one rooted in a harmonious and loving family. Such an atmosphere not only upholds the noble ideals of dragons, but also fosters their growth in a safe and encouraging setting. Hence, the Academy is selective, accepting only those students who come from families that embody these values. To manifest this ideal image of unity and family, the Queen of the Silver Dragons made a thoughtful decision to take a leisurely walk with her entire family. They planned to capture this precious moment with a family photo in the enchanting Sky City, a place where the clouds touch the ground and magic fills the air. As they strolled through the vibrant city, they noticed many dragons soaring gracefully overhead, their majestic wings gliding effortlessly against the backdrop of a stunning azure sky. The sight was breathtaking, a true testament to the beauty of dragonkind. Amidst the excitement, Leon, the father, heroically caught Muin, his daughter, as she was gleefully sliding down from a considerable height. Standing to the side was Noah, his son, visibly upset and filled with jealousy at the attention Muin was receiving from their father. In her innocent enthusiasm, Muin eagerly suggested that Dad transform into a dragon. She was filled with anticipation and curiosity, yearning to witness her father's remarkable transformation into a magnificent creature. Leon smiled at her request, but with a hint of resignation. He knew that his skills were primarily focused on dragon slaying rather than the art of transformation, making it difficult for him to fulfill her wish. Noah, still standing off to the side, chimed in with an annoyed tone, highlighting the fact that their father simply couldn't turn into a dragon, pointing out the very essence of the situation. Leon felt a pang of offense at his son's blunt remark. His gaze shifted to Rosweis, his partner, who stood beside him, offering silent support amidst the banter. Understanding the underlying tension, Rosweis explained to the children that their father's body had not fully recovered from the ordeal he had faced, thus preventing him from transforming into a dragon just yet. Muin, with her tender heart, wished for her father's swift recovery, hoping that soon he would be able to show them the wonders of his dragon form. Rosweis, sensing the need to shift the mood, encouraged everyone to venture into the city, reminding them that they still had much to explore and accomplish during their visit. As they wandered through the bustling streets, people were taken aback when they caught sight of the dragons. The sight of such majestic creatures flying freely amidst the cityscape was a rarity, leaving onlookers in awe. Leon felt a tremor run through him at the sight of so many dragons surrounding him. Since awakening from his lengthy coma, this was the first occasion where Leon had encountered such a significant number of dragons in one place. As a seasoned dragon slayer, the instinct to battle surged within him, making it challenging to restrain his natural instincts when faced with what he perceived as enemies. Observing his discomfort, Rosweis speculated that perhaps Leon was feeling fear in the presence of so many dragons. In a moment of irritation, Leon vehemently declared that he was not afraid but rather quite delighted, even though deep down, the truth was quite the opposite. His keen eyes scanned the skies and soon spotted dragons he had long desired to hunt, their wanted posters still fresh in his memory. A wave of temptation washed over Leon as he began to mentally torture himself with the thought that if he could eliminate these dragons, he would earn a substantial reward, bringing in a fortune. Rosweis and their family eventually entered a lavish gallery, filled with enchanting artwork and breathtaking views. They were promptly greeted by attentive servants, who welcomed them warmly and guided them through the exquisite establishment. The family was shown an abundance of photographs featuring dragons in various poses and settings, showcasing their grandeur and elegance. Leon found himself puzzled as he questioned the purpose of visiting a gallery that primarily focused on taking pictures. He realized that while the dragon royal family could command respect among their own kin, the dragons residing in the heavenly city were not bound to any particular tribe, making the situation all the more complex. As they continued their conversation, it became evident that the status of Rosweis, the queen, was somewhat overestimated among the inhabitants. These words struck a nerve, causing Rosweis to feel insulted, leading her to swiftly step on Leon's foot with her sharp heel. Regardless of the circumstances, It was clear that Roswitha held a higher social standing than Leon, a fact that both of them were acutely aware of. The family soon arrived at the studio of a professional photographer, who greeted them with immense respect, understanding the significance of their visit. Curiously, the photographer inquired about the absence of Leon's tail, to which Roswitha humorously replied that her husband simply disliked his tail and had chosen to conceal it beneath his suit for the day. Earlier, Roswitha had suggested that Leon wear a fake tail to complement his appearance, but he had firmly rejected the idea, preferring to remain true to himself. The photographer then invited Roswitha to the fitting room, encouraging her to select the most exquisite clothing for the upcoming photo session. Time passed, and Muin and Noah excitedly tried on new dresses, twirling in front of the mirrors, absolutely enamored with their elegant attire. Leon took the opportunity to change his outfit as well. He emerged wearing a striking suit that accentuated his features and complemented the overall family aesthetic. Even the photographer was taken aback by Leon's polished appearance, momentarily speechless at how dashing he looked. Leon decided to seek Noah's opinion on his new look, curious to hear what his son thought. Noah enthusiastically replied that Leon indeed looked very handsome, a compliment that brought a smile to his father's face. Leon, feeling proud, observed that his children were donned in the most adorable dresses, their joy radiating as they admired themselves in the mirror. Suddenly, Roswitha emerged from behind the fitting room curtains, adorned in a stunning new dress crafted in dark colors, accentuated by a delicate necklace that shimmered around her neck. Leon was momentarily stunned by Roswitha's beauty. She looked absolutely enchanting, leaving him momentarily speechless. A wave of embarrassment washed over him, making him feel slightly self-conscious in comparison to her elegance. If only Leon had the confidence that would come with a tail, he mused. It would enhance his presence. But he was resolute in his decision not to wear one under any circumstances. Muin and Noah were already engaging in the photo session, joyfully posing for the camera, while their parents remained off to the side, soaking in the moment. The photographer called for Leon and Roswitha to step into the frame, eager to capture the entire family together. Leon hesitated, expressing his reluctance to take pictures, but he ultimately knew he had to join them for the sake of family unity. The whole family gathered together for the shot, forming a beautiful tableau that radiated warmth and love. The resulting photograph turned out to be a stunning representation of their bond, encapsulating a moment that they would cherish forever. Roswitha and Leon appeared exceptionally adorable together in the snapshot, their chemistry undeniable and their affection evident. Even the photographer couldn't help but think that the couple looked incredibly cool, a testament to their unique connection. In a moment of nostalgia, Leon recalled his graduation from school, a time when all the girls were eager to take pictures with him and share a meal together, vying for his attention. However, Leon had felt compelled to refuse their advances, as he was preoccupied with thoughts about his employer and the responsibilities that awaited him. In the end, Leon turned down all the girls, leaving many to speculate that something must have been amiss with him, for it was indeed an unusual decision given the circumstances. Processing the photo is expected to take approximately 6 hours. During this considerable span of time, Roswitha and her family have the perfect opportunity to wander around the enchanting city, soaking in all its sights and sounds. They can explore the beautiful streets, admire the stunning architecture, and perhaps even enjoy local delicacies as they take in the atmosphere of this heavenly place. After some discussion, they all agree to the plan and leave the photo studio, excited about the adventures that await them in the vibrant city. Muin and Noah, eager to delve into the wonders of the city, take the lead and begin their exploration, filled with curiosity about what they might discover. Leon, on the other hand, finds himself reflecting on how he never imagined that he would one day go shopping with Roswitha. This experience is something completely new and different for him. Roswitha casually replies that their shopping trip is merely a way to maintain their family image, emphasizing the importance of appearances. Meanwhile, Noah has been dedicating herself to preparing for her entrance exams for the past month, so Roswitha believes it's essential to take a break and enjoy some leisure time together. Suddenly, while they are walking, Muin spots a beautifully crafted bear in a nearby shooting gallery. He is immediately captivated by it and can't take his eyes off the adorable toy. Roswitha and Leon notice Muin's fascination with the bear and share a knowing glance, understanding his desire to have it. Noah, determined to get the bear for Muin, steps up to the shooting gallery and tries her best to hit the target. but unfortunately, she misses, leaving her feeling disappointed. Leon approaches the shooting gallery, intrigued by the presence of such an attraction in the city. He hadn't expected to find a game like this in such a lovely place. Noah's disappointment is palpable as she reflects on her failed attempt to hit the target, wishing she could have done better. The bullets used in the game are made from magical energy, which requires precise control over that energy. This can be a challenging task for young Noah, who is still learning. On the other hand, Leon finds the whole concept quite familiar and is comfortable with the mechanics of the game. The owner of the shooting gallery, noticing Leon's interest, invites him to play. He explains that if Leon can knock down all the targets in 10 shots, he will win a couple of toys that both Noah and Muin have shown a keen interest in. This man is known for enticing children to participate in the game, hoping to earn a little extra money from their parents later on. Leon turns to the girls and asks if they truly want those bears, wanting to gauge their interest. They respond somewhat hesitantly, claiming they don't really want them, but Leon can see through their modesty and realizes that they genuinely desire the toys. Without hesitation, Leon asks the man for 10 shots, which Roswitha must pay for. This catches Roswitha off guard, as she hadn't anticipated being put on the spot like this. Leon hasn't picked up a toy gun in quite some time. The last occasion was back during his studies at the academy, and he feels a bit rusty but also excited. Taking a deep breath, Leon prepares himself for the challenge ahead, focusing on the task at hand. However, it soon becomes clear that the man running the game is a bit of a trickster. He has tampered with the gun in such a way that makes it exceedingly difficult to hit any targets, regardless of one's shooting skills. Surprisingly, when Leon starts shooting, he hits the targets one after another with impressive accuracy. The man running the game is taken aback by this unexpected turn of events. For his first shot, Leon merely tested the sight, but he was astonished to find that he hit the target, which raised his confidence for the subsequent shots. Muin and Noah cheer for their dad, filled with joy at his unexpected success. The man begrudgingly hands over the promised prizes to Leon, while secretly hoping he will leave the stand soon, not wanting to deal with the embarrassment of losing. Leon, in a moment of generosity, distributes the toys to the delighted children, who express their sincere gratitude and happiness to him for winning them. Roswitha reflects on Leon's character. She believes he often seems out of sorts, but when he becomes serious, he possesses a unique charm that draws people in. Leon glances at Roswitha and she seems puzzled by his focused demeanor, not quite understanding his intentions. A little girl, the daughter of a peculiar woman, spots the toys and, pointing at Roswitha's family, exclaims that she wants the same bears, adding a touch of innocence to the scene. As time goes by, they manage to win yet another bear, this one significantly larger than the first, much to their delight. When Leon returns to the game owner to purchase 10 more shots, he notices the man looking rather pitiful, which amuses Leon greatly. Roswitha can't help but think that spending time on such a trivial children's game seems foolish. Nonetheless, since they made the effort to venture into the city, she believes it's important to fully enjoy the experience. Leon, on the other hand, doesn't quite understand why Roswitha is dissatisfied. He wonders if it's so wrong to return home from their outing with something tangible, rather than empty-handed. While Roswitha considers the bears to be mere tasteless food that doesn't satisfy hunger, she admits that when they are transformed into toys, they take on a certain cuteness that is hard to resist. Roswitha then makes a request to Leon, asking him to come to her room after dinner, hinting at something more personal between them. Some time passes and the evening unfolds quietly. As night falls, a tranquil atmosphere envelops the home, and darkness begins to settle in. Leon walks down the hallway of the house, deep in thought. He reflects on the events of the day and considers that if he ends up alone with Roswitha, something significant might happen between them. He contemplates for a long moment, feeling a sense of awkwardness at the thought of going into her room now. He worries about what might transpire, especially if things don't go as planned, and how that could affect their relationship for an entire week. Nevertheless, Leon makes a silent promise to himself that he will hold on and see where this leads, determined to face whatever comes his way. As he approaches Roswitha's room, he notices that the door is slightly ajar, which piques his curiosity. Stepping inside, he discovers that the room is empty, with no sign of Roswitha. It seems that Leon may have arrived too early. and Roswitha is likely still in the bath, taking her time to prepare. The glass in the bathroom isn't very opaque, allowing Leon to catch a glimpse of Roswitha as she relaxes in the bath, which leaves him in disbelief at the situation he finds himself in. He struggles to wrap his mind around the fact that he might have to face such an intimate moment tonight. Taking a deep breath, Leon tries to calm himself, focusing on the task of being present. Leon peers into Roswitha's bathroom, trying to gauge the situation without intruding. To his surprise, Roswitha was indeed waiting for him, and with a welcoming smile, she invites him to start their evening together. However, Leon feels a wave of apprehension, not wanting to be pushed beyond his limits or overwhelmed by the moment. Meanwhile, some time passes, and Muin and Noah occupy themselves by looking at the photos they took earlier. They excitedly comment that Roswitha and Leon make a wonderful couple, their voices filled with innocent admiration. As Leon continues to take in the moment, he notices a small note attached to one of the photos. Its presence captures Roswitha's attention as well. The note reads, "May the silver light always shine in the eyes of the one you love," a heartfelt sentiment that resonates with both of them. Despite the sweetness of the note, Roswitha and Leon find themselves feeling a bit embarrassed, as they are not ready to confess their feelings for each other just yet. After a brief moment, they decide to return to the photo studio to have the photo replaced, hoping to remove the note that has drawn their attention and stirred their emotions. Roswitha looks at Leon with a curious expression on her face, clearly interested in what he has to say. She asks him where he would prefer to carry out their plans. She thoughtfully considers the options available and presents him with two distinct choices: the cozy and inviting living room, which feels warm and comfortable, or the balcony, which offers a lovely view of the surroundings but might feel a bit exposed and vulnerable. Leon takes a moment to ponder her question, weighing the pros and cons of each option. After some careful consideration, he finally replies that using the balcony might not be the best choice after all. He shares his concern that it could become awkward if someone happened to walk by and see them, which could make the entire situation uncomfortable for both of them and ruin the mood they were hoping to create. Taking Leon's concerns into serious consideration, Roswitha nods thoughtfully in agreement with his reasoning. She recognizes that the living room would likely provide a more suitable and private atmosphere for them to go ahead with their plans. It feels like a safe space where they can both relax and focus without the fear of being interrupted or seen by others. Leon feels a sense of relief wash over him as Roswitha agrees with his suggestion. He smiles slightly, glad that they have come to a mutual understanding about where they should proceed with their plans. There is a sense of comfort in knowing they both feel good about the choice they have made. With a sigh of resignation, Leon flops down onto the sofa, appearing a bit lost in thought. He sinks into the plush cushions, feeling the weight of the situation on his shoulders. Roswitha watches him with a blend of curiosity and concern, feeling slightly puzzled about his sudden movement and what he is trying to convey by it. Leon suddenly feels a rush of embarrassment wash over him. He realizes that he may have completely misunderstood the intentions behind Roswitha's question and what she was truly asking of him in this moment. The realization makes him feel awkward and uncertain about how to proceed, causing him to fidget slightly on the couch. In an attempt to lighten the atmosphere and relieve some of the tension, Roswitha addresses Leon as a gentleman, offering him a compliment on his character. She remarks that he seems somewhat unhappy, which adds a layer of concern to her words. With a gentle smile, she suggests that perhaps tonight isn't the right evening for their original plans after all, and proposes that they could postpone this lesson for another time when the mood is better suited for it. Intrigued by her suggestion, Leon leans forward slightly, his interest piqued. He asks Roswitha what it is that she truly wants at this moment, sensing that there is something deeper on her mind that she wishes to discuss. His curiosity grows, and he hopes to understand her feelings better. Roswitha takes a deep breath and explains that she is in need of answers to some specific questions that are necessary for evaluating viviparous families. These questions were used by the prestigious St. Haight Academy in the past and are quite important. She elaborates that these questions focus on understanding the habits, character, and experiences of the partners involved, which is crucial for their assessment. She emphasizes the importance of preparing their answers ahead of time, explaining how crucial it is to ensure they won't run into any issues during the admission process if they can't provide the right responses when asked. She feels a sense of urgency in her voice as she conveys how vital it is for them to get this right. Leon nods as he listens to Rosweise, but when he looks over the questions, he can't help but feel that they are rather dull and repetitive. He thinks they resemble the monotonous questionnaires that are designed to assess understanding between partners, making him feel a bit bored. As they go through the answers together, Leon discovers something interesting. Rosweise's favorite color is black, a choice that he finds intriguing. Meanwhile, he reveals that his own favorite color is silver, which creates a slight moment of connection between them as they both share personal details. In that moment, they share a brief exchange of glances, looking into each other's eyes and feeling a sense of understanding. Their eye contact carries a lot of meaning, and they both cherish the connection they are building in this moment. They both consider this coincidence of their favorite colors as something significant, even if it may seem trivial. It adds a layer of intimacy to their interaction, making them feel like they are learning more about each other. Rosweise, feeling playful, suggests they check how well they really know each other. She challenges Leon to see if he can accurately answer questions about her. Leon feels a bit unsure about his abilities, thinking he may not be good enough for this task, but he is willing to give it a try. And so, they decide to go ahead and make it a fun little game. Rosweise and Leon begin to compare their answers to the questions they have each written down. Leon feels a sense of accomplishment as he realizes he has scored more points than he expected, which means he knows the Rosweise queen better than she anticipated. Rosweise is pleasantly surprised by this result. She did not expect Leon to notice even her small habits, like how she prefers to sit comfortably, or how she positions her dragon tail when she relaxes. She realizes that Leon is much more observant than she initially thought. However, Leon does make mistakes in certain areas, which surprises Rosweise. She had assumed he would know more about her preferences and quirks. Rosweise has always been someone who keeps her thoughts and feelings to herself, never really sharing much with others. So, it's understandable that Leon might have gotten some things wrong. She feels a sense of comfort knowing that it's okay to have some misunderstandings. Rosweise takes a moment to reflect on what just happened. She thinks about the nature of their relationship and how they are both learning about each other through this process. Leon notices that Rosweise is looking at him intently, her gaze piercing through him. He wonders if it's because he scored higher than she did, making her feel a bit upset or competitive about it. The thought makes him feel uneasy. In an effort to ease the tension that has suddenly filled the air, Leon tries to comfort Rosweise with kind and reassuring words. He wants her to feel at ease and let go of any negative feelings. For Noah's sake, Leon suggests that Rosweise should try to get to know him better. He believes that taking the time to understand each other more fully could strengthen their bond and alleviate some of the pressure they are both feeling. Rosweise is taken aback by Leon's suggestion and did not expect him to say something so open and vulnerable. His words catch her off guard, and she feels a mixture of surprise and curiosity. The queen then tells Leon not to talk nonsense, her tone playful yet firm. She orders him to write down the correct answers, wanting him to take the task seriously and contribute meaningfully to their conversation. In response to one of the questions, Rosweise writes that Leon has never disappointed her. This unexpected answer surprises her, and she tries to justify it to herself, wondering why she feels such a strong connection to him. With the day before the entrance exam approaching quickly, Rosweise reflects on their progress. After a week of hard work, she realizes that their average score has exceeded 80 points, filling her with a sense of pride. She feels optimistic that if they both achieve the same results on the test, there will be no issues with assessing her family or their future. As Leon leaves the room, Rosweise feels a wave of sadness wash over her. She looks tired and somewhat defeated, feeling the weight of the upcoming exam pressing heavily on her shoulders. Before Leon can completely leave, Rosweise calls out to him, asking him to wait for a moment. She feels that there is more she wants to discuss with him, and she doesn't want him to go just yet. With a hint of vulnerability, Rosweise mentions that there is a bathtub in her room. She tells Leon to come and spend some time with her after he has accepted her offer. It feels like an invitation to share a more intimate moment together. Leon is quite surprised by this unexpected suggestion. He raises an eyebrow, feeling a mixture of curiosity and uncertainty about what Rosweiss is really asking him. Rosweissa encourages Leon to take her advice seriously, wanting him to understand that this moment could be meaningful for both of them. Leon wonders why Rosweissa wants him to wash up in her room. He starts to think that she might have some hidden motives behind her offer, making him feel a bit uneasy about the situation. However, as he observes how nervous Rosweiss has been about the entrance exam lately, he decides that maybe it's okay after all. He figures that she might just be seeking comfort and companionship during this stressful time. As he heads to the bathroom, Leon tries to relax and enjoy the moment, allowing himself to embrace the unusual situation they find themselves in. He finds that he actually likes everything about the setup: the intimate atmosphere, the warmth in the air, and the unique bond they are forming through their shared experiences. Suddenly, he hears footsteps approaching. He realizes that it's Rosweissa coming towards him, and his heart races a little at the thought of her being so close. Rosweiss explains that she has been feeling a lot of pressure lately due to the upcoming exam and wants to talk about it. Her voice is soft and sincere, conveying her desire to share her feelings. Leon feels his throat tighten, almost croaking as he tries to respond. He struggles to find the right words to comfort her, feeling the weight of her emotions pressing down on him. He doesn't really want to deal with the situation right now, and attempts to convince himself that he can handle it. He tries to push down his own feelings of unease. Rosweissa thinks that by sharing her pressure with Leon, it might become easier for her to bear. She believes that if he understands what she's going through, it could lighten her burden. Besides, didn't he come to her a few days ago in a similar mood? She recalls how he had shared his concerns, and now she feels it's her turn to open up. Leon realizes that he cannot go against what she wants. He understands that Rosweissa is seeking support and comfort, and he wants to be there for her. Finally, Rosweissa steps into Leon's bathtub, making the moment feel even more significant. The act feels like a leap into a new level of intimacy between them, and Leon can't help but feel a mix of excitement and nervousness about what this could mean for their relationship. The long-awaited day of the entrance exam for St. Haight Academy has finally arrived, filled with a mix of excitement and anxiety that hangs in the air. Families gather outside the grand entrance, their hopes and dreams intertwined with the fate of their young ones. The atmosphere buzzes with anticipation as candidates prepare to showcase their abilities and impress the Academy's evaluators. Leon, standing at a distance, gazes at the majestic Academy, its towering spires and intricate architecture captivating his attention. He feels a swell of pride and determination as he imagines what it would mean for Noah to be accepted into such a prestigious institution. The sight of the Academy evokes memories of his own experiences and aspirations, reminding him of the importance of this moment. Meanwhile, Rosweissa stands beside him, her expression a complex mix of emotions that seems almost strange. There's a flicker of concern in her eyes, and it puzzles Leon. He wonders what could be troubling her at such a critical time, where every moment counts and the stakes are high. Concerned, Leon turns to Rosweissa and asks her what is bothering her, especially since he had just given her a relaxing massage the night before to help ease any stress. He hopes that his efforts to support her are enough to make her feel at ease, but her demeanor suggests otherwise. Rosweiss, seemingly irritated by the question, responds with a touch of rudeness that catches Leon off guard. Her tone is sharper than he expected, and he feels a pang of confusion. He wonders if there's something deeper troubling her that she's not ready to share. As the moments pass, the most important moment of the day is drawing near, intensifying the tension in the air. Everyone is acutely aware that the outcomes of the exam could alter their lives significantly, and the weight of this realization hangs heavily over them. In the midst of the anxious atmosphere, the girl responsible for reading the card of the Noah stands poised, ready to announce the significant details. Her voice carries a sense of authority as she prepares to share the information that will determine the future of their family. As she reads, the girl can't help but wonder about Noah's age. It seems to be a point of curiosity and perhaps concern, as she considers whether it might impact the evaluation process. The implications of age in the world of young dragons are not to be taken lightly. However, It quickly becomes clear that age is not a problem in this context. The Academy has its guidelines, but the nuances of each individual case can vary significantly. This realization offers a glimmer of hope amid the uncertainty. Although the Academy sets the minimum age for admission of young dragons at 1 year, Leon knows that virtually all young dragons who enroll are typically between the ages of 4 and 6. This fact provides a benchmark against which Noah's circumstances can be measured, alleviating some of the worries that had begun to surface. Rossweiss confidently asserts that Noya is very smart and that there is absolutely nothing wrong with her age. Her words are filled with conviction, reflecting her unwavering belief in Noah's potential and capabilities. This encouragement serves to bolster Leon's own confidence as well. Following this, a special employee approaches the family to guide them through a written test. The atmosphere shifts as parents are instructed to proceed to the 4th floor for an evaluation of their house, an essential step in the assessment process. The actions of the day are then transferred to the conference room located on the 4th floor, a setting characterized by its formal and structured environment. The room is meticulously arranged, emphasizing the seriousness of the evaluations taking place. Within the conference room, the setting is very formal, with a sense of gravity that underscores the importance of the occasion. The parents and candidates are aware that every detail matters, and the atmosphere is charged with a mix of nerves and determination. As they settle into the formal setting, Rosweisse leans closer to Leon and whispers if she thinks it will be easy for them to handle the 3 evaluators. Her voice is laced with both apprehension and curiosity, reflecting her desire to gauge Leon's confidence in their ability to navigate the situation. Leon, ever observant, notices a man who seems like an easy target to him among the evaluators. He sizes him up, mentally preparing himself for any potential challenges that could arise if things don't go as planned. His instincts tell him to be ready. He reflects on the possibility that if they suddenly dare to prevent Noah from entering the academy, he will be more than ready to meet these people with a sword. His protective instincts kick in, fueled by his determination to ensure Noah's success. The man introduces himself as Walter Wilson, the deputy director of St. Hate Academy, and he is responsible for their assessment. His presence commands respect, and he asks the parents not to worry, encouraging them to simply answer the questions posed to them. Leon and Rosweiss exchange knowing glances, pretending to be very happy in front of the deputy director. However, Leon can't shake the feeling that this old man is not as simple as he appears. There's a depth to him that suggests he is keenly aware of their situation. The old man begins to ask Leon and Rosweiss about their wedding anniversary date, probing into their personal lives. The question hangs in the air, adding another layer of tension as they prepare to navigate this inquiry. They successfully pass this question, exchanging furtive glances as they think back to their carefully crafted responses. The pressure of the evaluation process weighs on them, and they know they must remain composed. They recall the evening when they previously discussed the answer to this question, meticulously taking into account all the nuances that could affect their response. Leon suggests that they should consider that day as their anniversary. Specifically, they decide to refer to the year 1733, according to the calendar of creation, a detail that they hope will satisfy the evaluators. This shared memory reinforces their bond as they navigate the complexities of the day together. With smiles on their faces, Rosweisse and Leon simultaneously announce the date of May 25th. They both know that this is the day they had intimacy in the dungeon, a moment that solidified their connection and serves as a significant marker in their relationship. The old man pauses, thinking carefully. He notes that the child is already over a year old, and less than 2 years have passed since the wedding of the girl's parents. This progress seems faster to him than in ordinary families, raising eyebrows and questions in his mind. Leon, sensing the scrutiny, replies that he and Rosweisse experienced love at first sight, which is why everything turned out so quickly. His answer is filled with sincerity, hoping to convince the evaluators of the authenticity of their relationship. When asked whether Rosweisse and Leon had any arguments about their personal shortcomings during the 2 years of marriage, Leon takes a moment to consider. The question is loaded, and he wants to navigate it carefully. Leon answers affirmatively, admitting that yes, they have had arguments, but Rosweise, on the contrary, claims she has not. This was a deliberate setup, as they both understand that the answer must be a mix of truth and lies to sound plausible to the evaluators. The old man inquires further, asking what exactly happened during those arguments. Leon simply replies that sometimes he feels as if he doesn't exist, a sentiment that resonates with the complexities of their relationship. He elaborates by saying that his wife is very capable, managing family affairs and housework in a very organized manner. His admiration for her abilities shines through, showcasing the respect he holds for her. Leon continues, explaining that she accumulates stress easily, and he wants to take this opportunity to tell her that he also wants to do more for their family. His desire to support her is genuine and heartfelt, reflecting his commitment. A girl from the commission, observing the dynamics between them, notices how attentive and good Leon is as a husband. She then turns to Rosweise and asks her what she considers to be the most attractive thing about Leon, eager to hear her response. According to Rosweise, Leon is handsome, with a good figure, focused, serious, smart, not too intrusive, responsible, loves children, and maintains his composure under pressure. Her praise flows freely, painting a picture of admiration that resonates in the room. Leon feels pleased to hear such glowing words from Rosweise. A smile appears on his face, but inwardly, he grapples with confusion about whether she is genuinely praising him or subtly trying to offend him with her remarks. Recognizing the moment, Rosweise also seizes the opportunity to tell Leon not to overexert himself. Her concern for him is palpable, and she wants to ensure he doesn't push himself too hard during this critical evaluation process. In a show of affection, Rosweise squeezes Leon's hand very hard, a gesture that conveys both support and reassurance. Their bond seems to strengthen with this simple yet significant act, grounding them amid the tension. The commission observes them closely, interpreting their interactions as those of a genuinely loving couple. Their chemistry is apparent, and it adds a layer of depth to the evaluation process as they continue to respond to questions. They take their time to thoughtfully answer the commission's questions, ensuring that every response is measured and deliberate. The atmosphere is charged with the weight of their aspirations, and they know how much is riding on their performance. At the end of the commission's questioning, the couple is afforded the opportunity to ask each other an additional question, one that does not require an answer. This moment offers a chance for vulnerability and connection amid the formalities. Rosweise mentions that she has no questions for her husband because she already knows everything about him. Her statement carries a sense of intimacy, reflecting the depth of their relationship and the understanding they share. Leon receives the answer, noting that according to Rosweise, the more you talk, the more mistakes you make. So she suggests that it's worth ending the dialogue as soon as possible, a pragmatic approach to navigating the evaluation. In an unexpected turn, Leon asks if Rosweise liked the teddy bear he had given her, a question that seems out of place amidst the seriousness of the proceedings. He hopes to lighten the mood, even if just a little. Rosweise is surprised by this kind of question, as it has nothing to do with identity or resentment. Leon's thoughts always manage to surprise her, and she appreciates his ability to bring a different perspective to the situation. She replies that she really likes the teddy bear, affectionately referring to it as this fire. The playful banter between them softens the atmosphere, allowing them to connect on a more personal level amid the formal evaluations. Leon reassures her that everything is in perfect order, his tone calm and confident. He wants to instill a sense of reassurance in Rosweise, reminding her that they are in this together and that they will navigate the challenges ahead. Finally, they are informed that the test is over. The evaluation results will be sent to the Silver Dragon Castle via dragon mail in a few days, leaving them with a sense of anticipation for what lies ahead. Several days pass, and Mu-young notices the dragon mail arriving. He eagerly informs his sister about it, excitement bubbling over as he realizes that the moment of truth is finally approaching for their family. After a while, the family gathers around the table, their hearts racing as they prepare to look at what is written in the letter together. The air is thick with anticipation, each family member sharing in the collective hope for good news. As they open the letter, it reveals that Noah has been successfully accepted into the academy and is asked to report in 3 days. The news is met with cheers and joy, a moment of triumph that feels hard-earned. The entire family looks at the letter with joy, smiles lighting up their faces. The acceptance serves as a testament to their efforts and determination, and they take a moment to revel in the happiness of the moment. Muen, beaming with pride, expresses his happiness for his sister Noya. His enthusiasm is infectious, and it adds to the celebratory atmosphere as they all come together to celebrate this significant milestone. Rosweisa turns to Leon and expresses her gratitude, thanking him for his support and dedication throughout the process. Her words are heartfelt, reflecting the bond they share and the teamwork that brought them to this point. In celebration of the enrollment, the Queen announces that she will cook dinner, inviting everyone to join in the festivities. She playfully encourages Leon to come and help her, subtly taunting him to ensure that people don't say he's not part of the family. The story continues at the prestigious St. Hate Academy, renowned for its commitment to excellence in education and character development during the highly anticipated admission ceremony. This event is not merely a formality. It represents a significant milestone in the lives of many students and their families, filled with hopes, aspirations, and dreams for the future. The atmosphere is charged with excitement as parents and students gather, each with their own stories and expectations. The old man, who serves as the revered director of the academy, stands before the audience with a warm smile. He congratulates everyone on successfully passing the rigorous entrance exam, a challenging process that only the most dedicated and talented candidates could achieve. His voice carries a sense of authority and warmth as he invites all of them to the St. Hate Academy admission ceremony, a momentous occasion that signifies their hard work, determination, and the beginning of a new educational journey. A large crowd of spectators had already gathered on the grand podium, buzzing with excitement and actively discussing the unfolding situation. Parents, students, and faculty members exchanged opinions and speculations about the new students, eager to see who would stand out among the candidates. The ambiance is lively, with laughter and chatter filling the air as families share stories and experiences, bonding over their common goal of providing the best opportunities for their children. Among the new students, there are many excellent candidates who have demonstrated remarkable abilities and potential throughout their academic journeys. The director of the academy firmly believes that only families who cultivate harmonious relationships and strong values can nurture such exceptional children. Seizing the moment, he invites these exemplary families on stage to share their experiences and insights with everyone present, hoping to inspire others. Noya, along with her proud parents, is called to the stage to represent her family, a moment that fills her with both pride and nervous anticipation. Muen, Noya's sister, can hardly believe her eyes as she watches her mom, dad, and sister walking confidently onto the stage. The unexpected turn of events fills her with a mix of emotions, ranging from pride to disbelief. She feels a surge of excitement as she realizes that her family is being recognized in such a significant way, and she silently cheers them on from her seat, her heart swelling with familial pride. Noah and her parents present themselves as a smart and friendly family, radiating warmth and positivity that captivates the audience. Their appearance is striking, they are well-dressed, and their smiles reflect the joy of the moment. The crowd admires the unity and support that the family exudes, recognizing the special bond that ties them together, a bond that is evident in their interactions and expressions. Just 1 hour prior to this moment, the director of the academy had informed Rosweiss and Leon, Noya's parents, that they had achieved first place in the family test. This test evaluated not only academic prowess, but also the strength of family bonds and the values instilled within the household. In addition, their daughter Muet had also received the highest score among all candidates, a feat that filled them with immense pride and joy, solidifying their family's reputation as a model for others. Everything transpired very suddenly, catching everyone off guard. No one had anticipated such a turn of events, making the moment even more memorable. The unexpected recognition brings a wave of emotions, ranging from happiness to disbelief, filling the air with an electric energy that resonates with everyone present. As the youngest candidate with the highest score, Noah is also given the opportunity to say a few words on her own behalf. This moment is a significant acknowledgement of her achievements and her potential, a chance for her to share her thoughts and express her gratitude publicly. The audience eagerly awaits her words, sensing the importance of this moment for the young girl. With heartfelt sincerity, Noah speaks about her mother, expressing her gratitude to her in front of the entire assembly. Her voice is steady but filled with emotion as she recounts the countless sacrifices and unwavering support her mother has provided throughout her journey. Her words resonate deeply with those present, showcasing the strong bond between mother and daughter, a relationship built on love, trust, and mutual respect. She also takes a moment to share a few warm words about Muin, her sister. As she speaks, her eyes sparkle with affection and pride, highlighting the love they share as siblings. Noah describes the adventures they've had together and the lessons they've learned from one another, emphasizing the importance of family in shaping her identity and aspirations. Up until this point, Noya has expressed her appreciation for everyone present, but she has yet to mention her father, Leon, which leaves a small gap in her heartfelt speech. The audience, sensing this omission, leans in with anticipation, curious to hear what she will say about her father. Finally, in a touching moment, Noah turns to her father Leon and expresses her gratitude to him as well, acknowledging the significant role he played in helping her prepare for the exam. She recalls late-night study sessions and his unwavering encouragement, reminding everyone that his support meant the world to her. The heartfelt acknowledgement brings tears to Leon's eyes, a testament to the deep emotional connection they share. Overwhelmed by emotion, Leon bursts into tears, touched by his daughter's words and the recognition of his efforts. His heart swells with pride as he realizes the impact he has had on her life, and he feels a renewed sense of purpose as a father. Noah concludes her speech by thanking everyone for their attention and bows gracefully, a gesture of respect and appreciation for the audience. The crowd erupts in applause, acknowledging the heartfelt nature of her words and the strength of their family bond. The director of the academy, witnessing this heartfelt moment, invites Leon to kiss his daughter as a sign of gratitude, a gesture that symbolizes their bond and the occasion's significance. The suggestion is met with a mix of enthusiasm and surprise from the audience, who eagerly await the next development in this touching family narrative. Leon feels a wave of anxiety wash over him at this request. He is not prepared for such a public display of affection. The thought of kissing his daughter in front of so many people is daunting, and he grapples with his own emotions in the face of this unexpected situation. Until recently, Noya had been quite reserved, not even allowing him to touch her. Now, with the expectation to kiss her in front of a crowd, Leon feels an overwhelming sense of pressure and vulnerability. The dynamic of their relationship is shifting, and he is acutely aware of the significance of this moment. In a hushed tone, Leon offers Noah a compromise, a simple hug instead of a kiss, hoping to alleviate the awkwardness of the situation. He believes that a hug could convey their affection without the added pressure of a kiss. However, Noah insists that he hurry up and kiss her, eager for the social ceremony to come to a close and for the pressure of the moment to pass. Her determination surprises him, and he realizes that she is ready to embrace this new phase in their relationship. Leon is taken aback by her insistence, surprised that she is so willing to proceed with the kiss. He contemplates the shift in their relationship and how this moment signifies a new understanding between them. Yet, now that Noya has given her consent, Leon leans in and kisses her, fulfilling the expectation of the moment. The kiss is tender and filled with love, a reflection of their bond as father and daughter. From her spot on the podium, Muyong sees this tender moment and feels compelled to join in, breaking away to kiss her sister Noah as well, creating a heartwarming family scene that resonates with the audience. Meanwhile, Rosweisa stands off to the side, silent and observant. She feels a sense of relief that she is not the one in Leon's position at this moment, but she also feels a pang of envy at the open display of affection between father and daughter. The director of the academy takes the opportunity to commend Leon and Rosweisa's family as a shining example for all families present, showcasing the importance of love and support in nurturing successful individuals. He goes on to describe them as an exemplary, loving couple, highlighting their strong partnership and commitment to each other and their children. The audience listens intently, recognizing the values that the family represents. Leon, reflecting on the day of the exam, regrets that he did not take the opportunity to engage more fully with the family dynamics that were unfolding. He wishes he had been more involved, realizing the importance of family support in achieving success. Nevertheless, he recognizes that this ceremony is the most important occasion for Noah, and he strives to maintain his composure and support her fully. His love for her drives him to be the best father he can be. In an effort to lighten the mood, Leon begins to act very demonstratively, putting on a performance like a true actor. He hopes to bring some levity to the situation and make everyone feel comfortable. Rosvisa, witnessing this unexpected behavior, is taken by surprise. She had not anticipated this side of Leon, and it leaves her both amused and bewildered. Rosvisa is left wondering whether Leon genuinely intends to kiss her in front of hundreds of spectators. With all eyes on them, she feels she has no choice but to cooperate with whatever Leon decides, even if it makes her slightly uncomfortable. Finally, in a significant moment, Leon kisses Rosvisa for the first time in the last 2 years. Ironically, while Leon remains calm and composed, it is Rosvisa who feels extremely nervous about the public display of affection. Her heart races as she processes the moment. The most intense moment of the ceremony is approaching, heightening the anticipation among the audience. They are captivated by the unfolding drama, eager to see what will happen next. As Rosvisa turns her head away from the kiss, Leon's lips make contact with her cheek instead, an unexpected twist that leaves everyone in the audience intrigued. The audience gasps in surprise, and whispers ripple through the crowd. Rosvisa is momentarily confused, unable to comprehend what just transpired between them. She looks around, searching for an explanation for the unexpected outcome of the kiss. Her expression reflects her puzzlement and disappointment, clearly taken aback by the unexpected outcome. She had anticipated a more romantic gesture, and the anticlimactic moment leaves her feeling unsettled. Leon, taking center stage, bows deeply in response to the audience's enthusiastic requests for another kiss. But he does not oblige, leaving them wanting more. The audience's cheers and applause fill the air, but Leon simply smiles, enjoying the moment. He casually tells Rosvisa that a kiss is a pleasant experience that can help relieve stress, attempting to lighten the mood further. His playful demeanor contrasts with Rosvisa's serious expression, highlighting their different reactions to the situation. Rosvisa, feeling furious and taken advantage of, grapples with the emotions swirling inside her due to the unexpected kiss. She feels a sense of indignation and frustration at the turn of events, wishing for a more genuine moment. The director of the academy bids farewell to the Rosvisa and Leon family, encouraging them to relax and find their seats in the auditorium for the remainder of the event. His kind words resonate with the audience, reminding them of the importance of family bonds. As they leave, Rosvisa and Leon promise to pick up Noya from the academy next weekend, ensuring their family bond remains strong. The promise is a testament to their commitment to each other and their desire to support their daughter. Muen finds it difficult to say goodbye to Noya, feeling a sense of longing that she will miss her sister while they are apart. The two sisters share a heartfelt embrace, vowing to stay connected despite the distance. Leon advises Noya to eat her meals on time and not to be overly picky about her food choices. He reminds her to reach out to him if she has any questions about her studies when she comes home for the holidays. Most importantly, he stresses the importance of consulting a doctor if she feels unwell, emphasizing his concern for her well-being. Leon confesses that while these words of wisdom truly belong to Noya's mother, she had been too embarrassed to share them in person due to her state when she was drunk. He laughs lightly, trying to ease the tension and make the moment more lighthearted. He also cautions her to be wary of classmates who may have bad influences, advising her to keep her distance. However, if they ever dare to bully her, he encourages her to stand her ground and fight back, instilling a sense of confidence in her. Curiously, the girl asks Leon if he had ever engaged in similar confrontations during his own school days. Leon responds with a sly wink, hinting at his adventurous and rebellious past, sparking curiosity in Noah about her father's youthful escapades. Leon instills in his daughter the belief that she can always trust him, and that she is safe to confide in him about anything. His words offer her reassurance and comfort, solidifying the trust they share. The story continues in the majestic and enchanting castle of the Silver Dragons, specifically within the beautifully adorned Queen's study, a room filled with ancient tomes, intricate tapestries, and artifacts that tell the tales of long-forgotten times. The atmosphere is thick with magic and history, creating a serene yet powerful aura that envelops anyone who enters. In this sacred space, Rosweise is deeply engrossed in reading a particularly intriguing book, its pages filled with arcane knowledge and forbidden spells. Outside the window, darkness has fallen, casting shadows that dance across the room. The content of the book reveals that the blood curse is a rare and forbidden form of magic, one that can only be invoked once in a lifetime. It describes how the caster must use their own blood as a catalyst, while the price paid is the very essence of their life, a sacrifice that weighs heavily on the soul. As Rosweise contemplates the implications of the blood curse, her mind begins to wander, considering the potential for such magic to be refined and improved. In her thoughts, she envisions it transforming into a captivating form of entertainment, a spectacle that could draw the interest of nobles and commoners alike, all eager to witness the power and artistry of blood magic in a controlled and thrilling manner. Suddenly, the tranquility of the moment is interrupted as someone enters Rosweise's office, breaking her concentration. The door creaks open softly, and a familiar figure steps inside, bringing an air of urgency with her presence. It was none other than Shirley, the trusted and loyal servant of the Silver Dragon clan. She acknowledges Rosweise with a respectful gesture, getting down on one knee in a display of loyalty and readiness to receive any orders that may come from the Queen herself. Her demeanor reflects her dedication and the weight of responsibility she carries in serving the royal family. With a sense of curiosity and concern, Rosweise inquires about the progress of Shirley's investigation into recent events. Shirley responds with a note of disappointment, explaining that, despite her best efforts, there are no traces of Tiger Lawrence and his wife to be found anywhere within the Empire. The absence of information is troubling, and the Queen listens intently, her mind racing with possible implications. It appears that the couple has vanished without a trace. Shirley elaborates, detailing how the information surrounding their disappearance has been meticulously erased, leaving her subordinates with no leads or clues to follow. The mystery deepens, and Rosweise feels the weight of the unknown pressing down on her. According to Leon, his master, Tiger Lawrence, was merely an ordinary old man living a simple life on a farm. However, as the pieces of the puzzle begin to shift, it becomes increasingly clear that there is much more to this story than meets the eye. The shadows of doubt and suspicion linger in the air, hinting at hidden truths. Steeling herself, Rosweise gives Shirley a firm order to continue the investigation with renewed vigor. She insists that any news, no matter how small, must be reported to her immediately. The Queen's determination is palpable, and Shirley nods in agreement, promising to relentlessly pursue the truth. The following evening brings a new scene as Leon dedicates time to teach his daughter Muen the art of swordsmanship. In the dim light of the training room, he patiently guides her, demonstrating techniques with a practiced hand, hoping to instill in her the skills and discipline necessary for the path ahead. Leon strives to share his vast experience with his daughter, imparting not just the physical techniques of swordplay, but also the mental fortitude it requires. He believes that these lessons will serve her well in the future, shaping her into a strong and capable individual. However, despite his best efforts, Leon realizes with some disappointment that Muen is still too young to fully grasp the intricacies of sword fighting. Her small hands struggle to wield the weapon, and her attention wanders, making it clear that she is not yet ready for such serious training. Understanding her limitations, Leon gently attempts to take the stick from Muen, hoping to lighten the mood and perhaps switch to a more playful activity. At that precise moment, Rosweise enters the room, her presence commanding attention and shifting the dynamic. Upon noticing her mother, Muyong's face lights up with joy, her previous worries forgotten in an instant. The bond between mother and daughter is evident, and the warmth of their connection fills the training room. Leon also greets Rosweise with a smile, acknowledging her arrival with a sense of relief and happiness. The atmosphere shifts, becoming lighter as the family comes together. Muen eagerly shares her impressions of the time spent playing with Leon, her excitement bubbling over as she recounts how her father taught her how to hold a sword properly. Her youthful enthusiasm is infectious, and it brings a smile to both Leon and Rosweiss's faces. Rosweisse takes a moment to inform Muin that the steak for dinner will be ready shortly, a detail that piques the girl's interest. She encourages Muin to go change into something more appropriate for dinner, a practical suggestion that adds to the evening's warmth. Muyung's eyes sparkle at the mention of steak, her favorite dish, and she can hardly contain her excitement. The prospect of a delicious meal brings joy to her heart, and she rushes off to prepare for dinner. As the servant takes the enthusiastic Muyung away, Leon and Rosweisse find themselves alone together, the atmosphere shifting back to one of intimacy and conversation. They seize the opportunity to discuss matters that have been weighing on their minds. However, Rosweiss's tone suddenly turns sharp as she addresses Leon, a hint of irritation in her voice. The shift is unexpected, and it catches Leon off guard, prompting him to wonder what has caused her sudden change in demeanor. In a surprising move, Leon points a sharp stick towards Rosweiss, a gesture that she did not anticipate. Her expression shifts dramatically, reflecting a mix of shock and curiosity as she processes his unexpected action. The tension in the air raises the question: has Leon finally decided to confront Rosweiss in a way that could be deemed treasonous within the castle of the Silver Dragons? Such actions are not taken lightly and could result in severe punishment, even execution. To defuse the situation, Leon calmly explains that the stick is merely a branch, lacking any real threat as a weapon. His demeanor shifts to one of reassurance, attempting to alleviate the tension that is built between them. Rosweisse recalls the strength of Leon, once known as the most formidable dragon slayer. In her mind, she considers that even a simple branch in his hands could be wielded as a weapon, a reminder of his past prowess and the power he still possesses. Leon exhales heavily, the weight of the moment settling on him. He feels the complexities of their relationship swirling around them, and he knows that communication is key to understanding each other. In an attempt to lighten the mood, Leon begins to joke, playfully asking Rosweisse to find another way to praise him, or to express her thoughts directly without the sarcasm. He hopes to steer their conversation back to a more lighthearted tone. Leon's intention was never to genuinely scare Rosweiss. Rather, he wanted to inject some humor into their interaction. However, he realizes that if she is not afraid, then his efforts are in vain. It would be odd to suggest he could harm anyone with a mere branch, especially in light of his current state. Changing the subject, Rosweisse informs Leon that their daughter, Noya, wrote to her just the day before, sending her love and assuring her that she is doing well at the academy. The news brings a moment of relief to both parents, knowing their child is safe. Leon expresses surprise at the brevity of Noya's letter, wondering why she offered so little detail. Rosweisse explains that Noya has a habit of writing just enough to let them know she is okay, her messages often lacking depth, but filled with assurance. In this aspect, Noya is incredibly similar to Rosweisse, who also tends to keep her thoughts and feelings guarded, revealing only what she deems necessary. This shared trait creates a bond between mother and daughter that is both complex and loving. According to Rosweisse, Noya holds a deep admiration for Leon, viewing him as a figure of strength and resilience. With her draconian mindset, she respects those who are powerful and aspires to achieve greatness herself. Though she often wears a serious expression, her heart is warm and engaging when approached correctly. Rosweisse reflects on the fact that Leon serves as the best example for Noya at this stage in her life. The revelation surprises Leon, who had not considered his daughter's perspective and the impact he has on her development. For quite some time, Leon had believed that Noya viewed him as a weakling, an outsider disconnected from the powerful world they inhabit. This new understanding shifts his perception of their relationship and his role within the family. In many of her actions and behaviors, Noya mirrors her mother, Rosweisse, showcasing traits that are both admirable and challenging. The blend of their personalities creates a unique dynamic that continues to evolve. Leon recalls the times when Muyung and Noya were just small children, often crying and unable to find comfort. It was only when they were laid next to a sleeping Leon that they would calm down, as if his presence alone provided them with a sense of safety and love. Even before he fully grasped it, there was a profound bond of blood and connection between him and his daughters. These memories take Leon back several years, to a time when Noya and Muyung were innocent young children. and their world was filled with wonder and simplicity. For Leon, the concept of blood connection is an enigma, a strange and complex emotion that he navigates with uncertainty. He grapples with the significance of such ties, constantly seeking to understand their impact on his life and relationships. As an orphan, Leon's childhood was devoid of parental love and affection. He grew up without the warmth of a family, leaving him with a profound sense of longing and confusion about what it truly means to belong. When he was just 5 years old, his master and his wife took him in, adopting him into their home. Although they were not related by blood, they treated him with kindness and care, nurturing him as if he were their own son. This experience marked the beginning of his journey toward understanding family. For the first time, Leon experienced the meaning of home, a place where he felt safe and valued. Yet, even amidst this newfound love, there were moments when a sense of loss would creep into his heart, reminding him of what he lacked. In his childhood, Leon often lamented the fact that his master and his wife were not his biological parents. This longing for connection and belonging haunted him, shaping his understanding of love and family. During one of their heartfelt conversations, his non-native mother gently told him that one day he would become a father himself. She painted a picture of a future where he would have children of his own, blood relatives whom he would cherish and protect with all his heart. The thought of having his own children, of nurturing them and providing for them, filled Leon with a sense of hope and purpose. He envisioned a life where he could break the cycle of loneliness and create a loving family of his own. Now, as he stands with Rosweisa and their daughters, Leon realizes that these precious family members are the most important part of his life. He understands the need to appreciate and cherish them, recognizing the love that binds them together. Lost in these profound thoughts, Leon is suddenly brought back to the present by Rosweisa, who gently reminds him that it is time for them to return home. The reality of their responsibilities calls to him, grounding him once more. Grateful for the meaningful conversation they shared, Leon expresses his thanks to Rosweisa, acknowledging the insights and clarity he gained through their exchange. His appreciation is genuine, and it reflects his desire to strengthen their bond. As they prepare to leave, Rosweisa finds herself struggling to put on her shoes, a small but significant moment that reveals her vulnerability. It is a reminder that even the strongest individuals can face simple challenges. Seizing the opportunity for connection, Rosweis asks Leon to help her with her shoes, a request that carries a layer of intimacy as she relies on him for support. The moment feels tender, a small gesture that signifies trust. Leon, taken aback by her request, experiences a sudden shift in his expression. The unexpected nature of her plea catches him off guard, and he contemplates the deeper implications of such a simple act of care. Sitting on a bench, Rosweis offered to help Leon put on her shoes as a thank you, but Leon refused the offer completely. The young man claimed that he had already humiliated himself when he washed the girl's feet last time, and now she also wants him to put on her shoes. Before the guy could finish, Rosweis kicked him in the cheek and said that she still hadn't paid Leon for kissing her at the admission ceremony, and now he couldn't even help her put on her shoes. In the end, the lady asked the hero to stop talking nonsense and put on her shoes, because it was time for them to return. Leon finally gave up and began putting shoes on the girl's feet. Rosweis noticed that Leon's movements were quite fast, even though he said he didn't want to do it. In defense, the hero said that it was much easier to put shoes on Rosweis than on a donkey. The girl was not thrilled with such words. Angered, she swung her foot at the hero again to hit him, but he deftly dodged. Getting to his feet, he happily declared that Rosweis would not be able to beat him while he was running. Rosweis was angry and didn't understand why Leon was running so fast, because he was going to have problems tonight anyway. A couple of days later, the guys went out into the clearing to meet Noah. Finally, the dragon Leviathan appeared in the sky. The first thing Moon noticed when she saw him was that this dragon was several times bigger than her mom's dragon form. Rosweis noticed that the giant dragon Leviathan is a giant, but not very strong. Due to his stamina and emotional stability, he usually serves as a ferryman in the dragon clan. Leon's words about emotional stability raised questions. Rosweis explained that Leviathan had never lost his temper in the thousands of years that had passed from birth to death, so they were used at the academy to pick up and drop off baby dragons. At that moment, Noah descended from the dragon. The The first thing she did was turn to her mom and announce her return. Rossweiss responded by welcoming Noah home, and Muin immediately rushed to hug her little sister because she missed her very much. Then Noah approached Leon and tried to call him daddy, but the girl did not succeed. Then Leon realized that she just hadn't gotten used to calling him dad yet. Then the guy said that he was glad that Noah was back. He also added that he and Rossweiss had prepared many of Noah's favorite dishes. When Noah got home, she started showing her parents her achievements. Fundamentals of Alchemical Technique. First place with the highest grade. Introduction to Magic for Young Dragons. First place with the highest grade. History of the Dragon Clans for Young Dragons. First place with the highest grade. These results greatly shocked Muin. By this time, Noah had moved on to the last subject, called Physical Fitness. According to her, Noah had 95 points. She did not take the first place, for which she apologized. Rossweiss also assured that the girl should not apologize, because her achievements are already impressive. Moon, in turn, supported her mother's words and said that Noah was the best sister. Looking at the two girls, Leon realized that one does not know how to express emotions, and the other expresses them too strongly. So everything depends on him, the father. Looking at a piece of paper with grades, Leon said that running, bench press, pull-ups are the basic physical training that everyone goes through at the age of Noah. They are also young dragons, just like her. Leon assured me that it's okay if Noah is a little inferior to someone. Leon also showed the girl that she had won 9 out of 10 combat matches, which is the highest score in the class. This shows that although Noah is not as strong as these brats, she is much superior to them in strategy and combat skills. That is why Leon believed that the girl should not worry too much about the third place, because in the future she will have many opportunities to surpass them. Then Noah stated that she had heard from her mother that Leon was the best among all the students when he studied at the academy. Then Leon said that when he first entered the academy, he was not the first in the class. But later, thanks to hard work and perseverance, he won the first place. Leon argued that Noah still had a lot of time and she shouldn't let one mistake get her down. Leon believed that the girl could achieve more. Then Muin asked an interesting question. Since the girl understood that both her parents were strong, she wondered who would win if mom and dad fought. At that moment, Leon and Rossweiss shouted the same letter in one voice. When they came to their senses, they looked at each other with displeasure. Laughing proudly, Leon stated that in those days when he was engaged in combat training, no matter hand-to-hand combat or combat with weapons and magic, no one could compare with him. That's why he thought he was the best. But Rossweiss insisted that she won in key games, although she did not receive as many awards at the academy as Leon. Then, raising the tone of her voice, the girl asked, "Wasn't it because Leon had never beaten her that he married her?" To which Leon replied that they had 2 beautiful daughters, Muin and Noah, only because Rossweiss could not beat him. Then Rossweiss invited the guy to go out and fight, and he happily agreed because he had long wanted to demonstrate his skills to the girl. Muin and Noah did not stay away and followed their parents to see how they would fight. They sat on a bench with popcorn and watched Rossweiss and Leon as they warmed up. Then Muin asked Noi if she was really interested in who was stronger, dad or mom. To which Noah replied that her teacher had told her to watch the Masters competitions more often, because it would also help improve her fighting skills. Rossweiss reminded Leon that his body hadn't recovered enough to fight her yet, but Leon insisted that there weren't many opportunities to fight the Silver Dragon Queen, so of course he should take advantage of it. In this case, the girl suggested that the hero play for something. Then Leon asked her what she was ready to bet. Rossweiss suggested that in case of her defeat, she would not touch Leon for a month. But if she wins, Leon will have to fulfill one of the girl's requests. Leon, of course, did not know what kind of perverted demands Rossweiss would make, but he believed that so far he was winning. This means that the guy will be able to take a month off, which made the hero very happy, because under normal circumstances, he didn't even think about it. That's why Leon accepted Rossweiss's bid. In this case, the girl invited her opponent to start the battle.